Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready for an entertainment explosion. Get ready for an avalanche of awesomeness. Get ready to go live with your boy. Here he is, Hoodie Jube. And make sure you hit the subscribe button for your chance to win tickets to a live New Orleans Saints football game.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Hoodie Jube back with another live podcast. And if y'all don't know, y'all will know. There's no YouTube without your boy Hoodie Jube. How is my Who Dat Nation doing tonight? Y'all doing good? Come on, y'all. We already know we all let our anger out, but guess what? We got another round table for tonight, before we can all let our feelings out about this game, and before we can move on to the goddamn Eagles, alright? But let me start off the show like I always do. Thank you, Mr. Dynamite, for the sick intro. We love it, man. And there's no better way to start off the show right than hitting it for him again. Hoodie.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready for an entertainment explosion. Get ready for an avalanche of awesomeness. Get ready to go live with your boy. Here he is, Hoodie Jube. And make sure you hit the subscribe button for your chance to win tickets to a live New Orleans Saints football game.
Alrighty, y'all. Let me read some of these people in the chat if I can shout everybody out that's in here. And then we're going to bring on some of the people that's in here for the round table, y'all. So who that to you, Miss Khan? I'm hoping you feeling better, because I know you said you're not feeling the best. So hopefully you start feeling better, Miss Khan. Glad you're in here to support the channel. Who that to you, JT? Who that to you, to Mr. Jerry? Let me play the video for him. Yeah, you know who it is. It's Mr. Jerry, the old freaking G in the building. Who that to you, my bro? Let's see who else is up in here. I got to scroll all the way back up. Let's see who's up in here. Mr. Brian Parrison, man. Who that to you, man? Glad to see you in here. We got Mr. Keen Nepp in the building. Who that to you, Keen Nepp? Brian Parrison said something about Phillip Rivers. Looks like he might be trying to make a comeback and maybe come to the New Orleans Saints. Hey, that would be a good pickup, but hey, he's not going to be able to scramble or nothing. So we just got to see how good he'll do in the pocket, you know. But Trevor Siemian so far to me looking good. Saints 01 in the building. Gabriel Thomas. Who that to you, man? Who that? What else we got up in here before I start bringing on some of my people? Jasper, man. Who that to you, Jasper, man? Glad to see you in here. Rose City's in here, man. Who that to you, Rose City? Glad to see you in here, my brother. What else we got up in here? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Slum South is in the building, man. Who that to you, Slum South? Glad to see you. So let's bring on some of these people in here. Let me give an introduction to this one. Everybody knows him by the last Saint, Mr. Tyrese. Welcome to the Hoodie Jube Live Podcast.
Hey, boy.
I guess you're doing good.
Oh, yeah, we're doing real fine tonight, baby.
Alrighty. So let's introduce the next person that's coming on the Hoodie Jube Live Podcast for the round table. Everybody loves him. Everybody knows him because he speaks the knowledge and he speaks the facts to you. This is C.T. Crusher. Welcome to the podcast, Crusher.
Rest in peace.
So, now he's on here, man. Who that to everybody? Let's bring on the other person on to the podcast, to the round table, baby. Everybody knows him by Saints 01. And let me play the video because it's his favorite phrase. Paulson Adebo will sign in 29.
Paulson Adebo will shine in 29.
Alrighty, let's bring him on. Saints 01, man. Welcome to the Hoodie Jube Live Podcast.
Hey, bro, what's happening?
Nothing much,
hey,
man.
I said nothing insane.
All right, and let's bring the last person on. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. He's going to be in everybody's damn YouTube chat talking. They call him the OG. I don't even have to play the other video for you again because everybody's going to start cheering Jerry for him anyway. So let's introduce him, the OG. the one who will bring the subscribers to you, Jerry. Welcome to the Hoodie Jube Live Podcast, Jerry.
Oh, Jay.
What's
J.
happening?
Cole, where you at?
Where you at, Jerry?
What's up,
Jerry.
I think it's Michael.
All right, Jerry. Don't tell me you having problems with your thing now.
Yo.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, yeah.
Let's hear them say yo.
That's why I'm moving to another room.
Oh, okay.
Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you perfectly.
Barely.
I had to move to another room. I don't know why this thing tripping, but it ain't gonna
You
stop
good?
me. They ain't gonna stop me, players.
It's not.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all already know.
Yes, sir. We already know. So since we got my boy Tyrese on here, we got Crusher on here, we got Saint Soul 1 over here, and we got Mr. Jerry, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's let all our thoughts out. Let's let all our anger out. Because, like I said, we Saints fans, we're going to have people that's going to be mad. We're going to have people that's like that understands the situation on why everybody was mad about stuff. You know, everybody's going to understand certain things. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. But at the end of the damn day, when it comes up to being Sunday, we're all going to be cheering for the Saints again anyway. So let's let it all out. And let me bring Mr. Jerry back on here real quick, y'all. All right, here's Jerry. All right, so this is my question to everybody
Hey,
here.
can y'all?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good. I had to plug up to my sound system, my computer sound system, so I can hear y'all.
Are you good?
Got you.
We can hear you, though.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah. So this is where we're going to start off, and this is going to be my question for everybody. What is everybody's thoughts on the game yesterday? What did you see yesterday that was good for you? You know, like the positive things that you see us improving, and what did you see that was so bad that you're like, God damn, we need to change this up right now? And we're going to start with you, Mr. Tyrese, since you're here first, and then we'll go with Crusher, and then Jerry, and then Saint Soul 1.
All right, positives, because I love positivity. So,
The new day. Yes, it is.
Yes, it
New
is.
day.
hey, Mondays be the madness. Everybody talks shit to each other. Get all the frustrations out. Listen, talking about Taysom Hill is like being a Christian in China. Like, you can't say shit. But otherwise, man, positives. I loved Sean Payton's attempt at the run game with Mark Ingram.
Yep.
You know, I feel like if we fed Mark Ingram more, there could have been a different outcome. And lastly, on the positivity, I loved how the defense tried to keep us in the game. Like, there were a lot of third and outs that happened, you know, to give our offense a chance, especially in the first half. And in the second half when it came down to the wire. Negativities, Caesar in the right guard position. Homie was catching hell.
Yep.
Brian Johnson's I think this is Brian Johnson's not Brian, our field goal kicker. This was his first bad game. Those two
Brian
extra
Johnson.
points would have helped us completely.
Yep.
Yeah, Jay, what you said. And thirdly, I would say the usage of Taysom Hill. They should have used them a lot more in the gadget role. I don't know
I'll
if
wait
it was.
for that. I'll wait for that to come
Yeah,
out.
I know.
I'll wait for the Taysom Hill part to come out. I'll wait for you to say it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. But look, man, even if he wasn't the quarterback, he should have been used more in the offensive role, especially at tight end or whatever. How he's flexed out. I'm not sure if it's like, you know, still lingering that concussion or whatnot, but we need him. We need to use more of our playmakers badly because, you know, the Panthers are catching up. They're 5-5 right now. The only reason why we're ahead of them is because they got a game loss, even though they have the tiebreaker. And if we don't catch fire against the Eagles and against the Bills, we can miss the playoffs because the NFC wildcard picture is still wide open.
Yeah.
Still wide open. And the 49ers are smashing the Rams.
Smashing them.
So even if the Rams do drop a couple games, they still have the opportunity to hold that wild card spot.
Yep.
Yeah,
But the answer you
because I'm looking at the game myself because San Francisco is just murdering Los Angeles.
And I wanted to bet
heard.
money too, bro, on the 49ers.
And we were talking, and we were talking about OBJ, and it looked like he ain't having a good game as a Ram. He only had like 3 targets and 2 receptions, and he ain't having that big game like he was when he was in Cleveland.
I think they said that's his second practice.
Yeah.
It's second something.
Hey, but to answer back to you, Saints, to my boy Tyrese, just to talk to you about it. I feel your frustration about the Taysom Hill part. You know, he should be at quarterback, you know, full time or whatever. But to be honest, like I said earlier, I do like Trevor Siemian. I think he's doing really good at passing. None of his shit is really his fault. Like besides like maybe 2 passes yesterday that was overthrown, but everything else was on the money. People just dropping shit. People was actually catching more than dropping this time. You know, at least they caught their shit this time. But I do think they do need to use Taysom Hill a little bit more. So like if it's like a 50-50 split, or if you wanted to change it up a little bit to like a 60-40, you know, and just get him more involved. So like, hey, if it's 3rd down and 2. The people's going to know you're going to try to do the fake, you know, power run because it's only 2 yards, but you can always do a fake because people's going to suspect you to run it, and you can do a fake pass or whatever and get an easy first. So I would like to see some more of that in the plays. But like we said, and like you said it too, he just got back from the injury. You know, this was his 2nd game. We don't really know. That's why they're not using him as much this yet. You know, maybe next game they'll use him a little bit more and stuff because like we said, like I told you earlier, Tyrese, when we was talking earlier, that this is his 3rd concussion in 2 years, and concussions ain't nothing to play with. So maybe they just being a little safe with him and trying to make sure they don't want to use him too much to where he gets hit again. So maybe that's why they slowly working him back in. That's my thoughts. I really do think we should use Taysom Hill a little bit more, not as a full-time quarterback, but use him a lot more on the goddamn field. Because, like I said, if you put him at quarterback, now you're taking him away as a weapon to be a running back, you know, tight end, receiver, and then he ain't gonna have nobody to throw it to.
Man.
Hey, I know you want to win. That's why I said
I'm
we
not
all
used to
want to win.
losing, man. I wasn't born in the 1990s. I was born in 2000.
Yep. Hey, but let's look at it though. Hey, but then if you look at it from yesterday though, if you look at everything from yesterday though, the only good positive thing you can see from it though is that we fought so hard the whole game trying to stay in, even though the refs hold us on some stuff to give them the lead and all kind of bullshit, people dropping it with all these backups and people we got, and we almost beat the freaking number 1 team in the AFC right now. Just look at it like that. That's the positive thing you can see from them, that we almost beat the number 1 AFC team. And they can say, but we didn't have Julio or Derrick Henry. Well, motherfucker, we didn't have Kamara. We don't have Winston as our quarterback. We don't have Michael Thomas. Shit, we don't even have Amanda Sanders again, our 2nd receiver on our team right now that we used to have. I'm saying you literally got Traquan being your 3rd receiver, basically your 4th receiver, being your starter right now. So, and then we got a lot of undrafted players trying to step up. And we
I think Traquan is number 1.
Yeah, Traquan's the number 1, right? He's number 1 on the depth right now. So I'm saying you got him as your number 1 receiver, and we're trying to hang in and do whatever we can to win these games. And I feel like we can win some of these games if we just delete some of these little errors and the stupid refs. Like, yeah, if the rest wasn't in the game, we'll win every game. But the rest like to hold it. So that's some of my thoughts, you know. So let's move on to Mr. Chris, because I know you was up next. So what was your thoughts, you know, the positives that you've seen and then the negatives that you've seen from the game?
Positives, I liked our running approach. I like that we caught the ball a little bit better. I like that. Our 3rd down defense. I think they went 4 for 12, 3 for 12 yesterday. Let me double check.
Hey,
3 for 12 yesterday.
I took a picture of this. Let me read this to y'all. I took a picture because I'm glad you brought that shit up. So you know how? So let me say, oh goddamn, well God bless you. All right.
God bless you, true.
So let me tell you like this. Let me read this to you. All right. So us having a 3rd string quarterback in, our backup running back, and no really good starting receiver besides your 3rd or 4th, you know, option being your starter. And you're missing a few pieces on defense too, you know, with injuries. But if you look at it right here, the Saints had 22 first downs. The Titans had 17. So the people with the most first downs, you think is going to win the game. Okay, cool.
Right.
Well, we had more passing and rushing first down than what they had. That's good for us.
Right. Yes,
First down from penalties. We had 3 and they had 3. We both had 3 penalties from the penalties, but their 2 penalties actually helped them to get in the end zones. Ours didn't because we was on outside the field still trying to push, while we in the red zone trying to stop them and we picked them off. That's what helped them. So then you look at total plays, right? The total plays we had was 61. They ran 58 plays.
Yep.
Well, if you add up the total yards, we had 373 total yards. They had 264 total yards.
264.
And we both had 11 total
Way
drives.
more passing yardage.
We both had the ball the same amount of times. Yards per play. We was getting 6 yards per play, while they getting 4.6 yards per play. Right. Our passing was 287, and their passing was 198. They had their starting quarterback and their starting receiver. Right. And they had way less passing yards than us. So then you look at it, and you look at yard per pass. Simeon did 7, and what's his name? Tannehill had 6.8. We had 4 sacks. They only allowed 2 sacks. Right. But rushing yards, we had 86 rushing yards. We held them to 66 yards.
66 yards.
They rushed it 29 times. We only rushed it 21 times. So we had more rushing yards on less attempts. Red zones. And then red zone. This is where it seems like we should have won, right? And this is why I blame the refs for this game. This is why I blame them. And people can say you shouldn't blame nothing, right? This is why I blame it right here. Red zone. We made it to the red zone 4 times. 3 out of 4 times we scored. They made it to the red zone 5 times. They only scored on us twice. Why did they score twice? One of them was a stupid two penalties that helped them. They would have been 1 and 5 in the red zone, and we would have most likely won that game and wouldn't lost by 2. And that's what I'm trying to tell everybody here. They had 8 penalties for 49 yards. We had 9 penalties for 65. So the penalties looked like they were fair. That's what it looks like. It looks even, but it's not when you're giving people 2 first downs in the red zone on the same trip to easily push them into the end zone. That's what I feel like caused us the game. We beat them in everything.
And Trevor,
everything.
I know, people saying what they saying, and again, it's another game again where you look at Trevor Siemian. He went 19 to 34, almost passed for 300 yards and 298 yards, no picks, touchdown. He did exactly what he had to do. He did exactly what the game plan wanted him to do. Those 2 sacks and the 2-minute drill, that was very costly. That was very unnecessarily costly. That he knew damn well he shouldn't have took those sacks. But other than that, I can't look at him again and say Trevor Siemian is the reason why we lost this game, or a contributing factor to why we lost this game. I just can't agree. We lost this game by 2 points. Those 2 points were extra points that we missed. So that brings us to like 7 PATs on the season that we've missed. 7 PATs that we've missed. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ, have mercy on the Saints, dude. We thought we had a kicker. You know, he kicked the 52-yarder last week against the Falcons. And we like, okay, cool. You know, his percentage good. He seemed calm. He seemed like he confident he gonna kick, and then he just do what he do yesterday, and it bites us in the ass. It completely bites us in the ass. So when I look at positives, we outrushed them, we outpassed them, we did better on 3rd down conversions. In a lot of aspects of the game, we outplayed them. On the slick, like we really outplayed them. They sacked us. They got after Trevor, with the 4 sacks. They did get after him. I wish we would have got after Tannehill a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie to you, but in a lot of ways, we actually outplayed them. We averaged more rushing yardage than them, more passing yardage. So yeah, that's the positives. The negatives: Brian Johnson missing PATs that he should not be missing on week 10 in the NFL season, getting paid money, buku money. He should not be missing that. You're a professional. Kevin White, again, 2 targets, no catches. Needs to come up with them balls. You got to. You're a professional. Tough catches, difficult catches, but they hit your hand. They hit your body. You're supposed to make them grabs. Make them grabs when you got to. We got to do better. Adam Troutman It's not even about the catching. It's not even about the blocking. It's about the mental mistakes. Adam Troutman had a holding call on him when Kenny Stills scored that touchdown in New York when we played New York in the Dome. He's had the penalty of the holding penalty to that callback Alvin Kamara big play when we played the Falcons. He's yesterday the false start on the 2-point conversion. It's the mental mistakes for me, bro. I'm really just starting to get upset with him, and I won't be surprised if we don't see Nick Vannett a lot of Nick Vannett getting way more opportunities just to be on the field, blocking, catching, whatever, than we've seen. Sean Payton at his press conference yesterday, I think Nick Underhill had asked him about, who's making the mistakes, who's not making the plays, and he basically was saying, it starts with me. It starts up top with me, but eventually we have to see who's not making the plays. We're gonna see who's making them and who's not. That's the NFL.
Oh!
And I'm telling you, that's gonna be a big part of what he's talking about. Players like that's not making the plays, dude. You cannot have false starts on plays like this. You can't do it. I'm not understanding. Cesar Ruiz did not play well yesterday. He did not play good at all. Don't know what to say about him. He's not a strong guy. His upper body's not strong. I'm sorry. For that interior position that he plays, he's just not strong enough. I don't know what it is. He needs to gets on that, Hulk Hogan diet at off season, but he's not producing. So yeah, that's the negatives. That's the positives and the negatives. But still in all, we lost to the hottest team in the AFC by 2 points. Probably should have beat them. Oh, this is another negative. It was another fumble that got on the ground, and we did not have enough ball awareness to pick it up. I think the game. I'll go back. The game with the Giants, John Ross had fumbled before he got in the end zone, and then he eventually recovered it, right? Passing to Debo, and I think that was Marcus Williams. And we didn't have enough ball awareness to get it. Last week when we played the Falcons, Marcus Davenport punched the ball out of Mike Davis' arms. We didn't have enough ball awareness to get on it and get on the fumble. And yesterday they fumbled the ball. The ball got kicked first down the field, and we did not have enough ball awareness to pick up the ball and get that. That was a big fumble. That was a very, very, very big fumble. It would have been very costly for them. So that's another negative of mine, the ball awareness. It seems like people are giving up on plays a little bit more than I like. So, this is another negative. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative, Nate, but we put Laddie Daddy, baby. It's Laddie Daddy. I lock down everybody, baby. We put him on the no-name, Marquise Johnson, and Marquise Johnson comes up with 5 catches for 100 yards, averaging 20 yards a play. When you got Paulson over there on A.J. Brown and Bradley Roby switching out, and A.J. Brown only has 1 catch the whole game. Marshawn, what you doing, man? What you doing?
That's how it was when Jack Rabbit was here.
That's a no-name.
I'll tell you what Marshawn Lattimore was doing. He was getting boink out there.
He was getting it. He was getting worked all game. And I don't know why Marshawn Lattimore has an issue, bruh, with these crossing routes, these crossing patterns, these mesh concepts. We play man, and he gets mixed up. We have to fix that. I mean, it's been plaguing him for a year, 2 seasons now. I don't understand. I'm really not understanding what's going on with Marshawn. A couple weeks ago, we was doing patrol, and we so good. We championship defense, and I still feel like they're somewhat. But you cannot be championship defense when you give up the same play, when you give up the same routes, when the same concepts are beating you. That can't happen. Yep. That can't happen. So I don't know if it's a Dennis Allen issue. I don't know if it's a Marshawn Lattimore issue, but I don't know if Chauncey would have made a big difference in the defense. Like I said, that passing yardage was really not all that great. Ours was pretty bomb. We really caught the ball pretty good yesterday. But but a couple of key plays that Marshawn gave up, to a no-name wide receiver, that's one of those things to where entering the game, you think to yourself, and maybe it's cocky, but you think to yourself, okay, Marshawn Lattimore should not have any issues with Marquise Johnson. He shouldn't.
No.
So that's another negative. And there we go. There we go.
I feel you on that one. I definitely feel you on that one, Crusher. But also, there's another thing like y'all can agree with me or not. Don't y'all think that our front four plus, like I said, front seven basically is so good? Why don't we just put an extra defender out there and play all the passing coverage, knowing that our people's gonna have to pass on us to win, and let our front four, front five, front six do what they got to do to stop the run, and make sure they watch the quarterback. They can do that. We don't have to be blitzing all the time. We don't have to be doing this. Just make sure we got people covering everybody, every part of the field, and we can easily win this.
I've been trying to look at how I can get my 22 my 22 film better, because I can't really see it right now. But I think that's exactly what we was doing, Hoodie. I don't think we was sending pressure. We wasn't sending 5. We wasn't doing things like that. What's happening is Marshawn Lattimore is not doing what he's supposed to be doing against receivers that he's way more talented than. That's the thing I see. You can you can put on other people. You could say we sending too many and not sending enough. Not putting people back in coverage and things like that, because our run defense is the best in the NFL. I get that, but I think that's what we're doing. I think that it's Marshawn Lattimore having bad technique at the completely wrong time, the most inopportune time. Paulson Adebo played well yesterday, so
he did. Hey, but I think what I'm trying to say is, I guess, it's like, yeah, they didn't rush too much yesterday, like blitz. But I think what I was saying, like what I was trying to get through, if you was watching the game yesterday, they were playing a lot of 3 linebackers. And most of these linebackers can't cover unless you got Kawan or Pete Warner out there to cover them. But they wasn't. They had a lot of Caden Ellis and all of them who can stop the run, because they had them right there, and they wasn't blitzing them. They were waiting for like a run, or try to cover. They need to put DeMario and in the middle right there, and have like Pete Warner or Kawan on each side if you want to do that. If not, keep Pete Warner or Kawan in with DeMario and switch them in and out to help with the cover, and put another cornerback in there, like Ken Crawley or somebody on the field that can help watch the field. Not just 3 linebackers. 3 linebackers, when you got those in, they're mainly watching for the run. They're not really looking for the coverage.
Well, I definitely think that, honest to God, if Marshawn Lattimore keeps giving up those plays like he is, that I think that's probably going to be something that we have to do. I'm going to be real with y'all. Because for the last 2 weeks, Marshawn Lattimore has looked bad.
It's easy. If I was a coach, I would be making the easiest shit right now. When he plays against a big name, no name, a big name, he balls out. When he plays against a no name, he slacks. Well, then why the fudge was he not on A.J. Brown and just put a Debo on somebody that's a no name? Why wasn't it like that? Why were they having Lattimore on a no name when they know he don't do good against a no name? I don't know what it is.
Don't know at all. Do not know at all. Maybe because they thought A.J. Brown was kind of injured, so they thought Bradley Roby could play him better. I'm not sure. I think TJ was saying the same thing.
Gotcha. So Jerry, what's your thoughts?
TJ was kind of saying the same thing earlier today on his recap.
I was there.
So that's a very good question. Not sure why they chose to have a scheme approach like this.
Yeah. Well, Adam, you already know my thoughts, man. I don't even have to explain it to you. But shouts out to everybody in the chat. But I want to address something real quick. And shout out to Brian Pearson that's in the chat. Brian, I appreciate your honesty and everything about trying to get these quarterbacks to come out of try to unretire and try to play for the Saints, but bro, you gotta knock that off, bro. I mean, I'm not mad at you at all, never. I'm not mad at you, but you just gotta just chill out with all that, bro. We're just using the players that we got right now with this team. So if we're gonna stick with Trevor Siemian at quarterback, that's who we're gonna stick with.
Hey,
So
but
I just want to address that to him.
yeah. Hey, Jerry, but
because Brian the same way about bringing these quarterbacks out of retirement than Tyrese is about Taysom Hill starting. It's crazy, man.
And nothing crazy about it. Nothing
but
delusional
also,
about it either.
hey, y'all. So basically, Brian also put in the chat. He just wants us to have, like, since we're on the round table and talking, he wants to know our thoughts on, like, because they said there's rumors about Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement. He's working out and stuff, trying to get back in shape, for the NFL, and he might want to come to the Saints. So basically, that's what he was just asking, for us being on the round table, what is everybody's thoughts on that? So, like,
Nah, that would be
like me,
that wouldn't be a good idea at all.
Like me, it would be a good quarterback. He's a veteran. He's a veteran, that knows what to do and stuff. But Trevor Siemian is doing a hell of a job as it is, and he's younger and can definitely move out the pocket better than Phillip Rivers would.
And Alan, can I say this? Can I say this right here?
Yes, sir.
And I'm glad Brian Pearson brought up that question. But you already know my answer. My answer is still 100% no, because Phillip Rivers already got a football team, his own family, and that's enough of a football team he can play for and be a daddy with, because he got responsibility. He retired now. That dude got about 10 kids at the house. That's enough. That's enough to make a football team.
Yep. It's a bunch.
That's all I got.
Yeah, and Phillip Rivers' arm is shot too. He can't throw down. He can't really throw down the field, and he's not mobile. If you think Trevor Siemian can't run, if you think Trevor Siemian can't navigate the run out the pocket, Phillip Rivers damn sure can't do that.
So
y'all bear with me for a second. I'm listening to y'all and I'm talking to y'all, but I'm looking at this game right here. Dude almost scored a touchdown, but it went out of bounds, so it was incomplete. And it's like
Who, the 49ers?
Cisco.
No, the 49ers.
It's about like 8:15 left in the fourth quarter.
Damn, I wish I dropped money on there.
Well, instead of them, mine would be 7-3 right now because 49ers they whooping some tail tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the number one seed in the NFC is wide open, man.
It is.
Well, fellas, it's like I was telling Hoodie Jube on his podcast Sunday night, and I say I even told T.J. Jones on his podcast earlier today, and I said you might as well just change from any given Sunday to any given week, because you got Thursday night football, you got Sunday, a full slate of Sunday action, you got Monday night football, Sunday night football. You might as well just change it from any given Sunday to any given day or any given week, because that's what you basically see.
Facts.
Yep. Facts. So basically, we can move on to the next topic and stuff with this.
One other thing. Also, shout out to Brian Pearson. He did say in the chat that he was going to the Saints Eagles game this coming Sunday. So, Brian, if you're listening, I hope you have a good time out there this coming weekend. Represent that black and gold, and just embarrass them Eagle fans up there if you want.
Yes, sir.
Please,
you going to the game.
I heard Philly dirty. I heard they a dirty team. I heard they toxic out there. So,
and that's something else I wanted to address right there while we all here in this round.
Hey, and Philly playing well.
Yeah, you saw what they did to Denver yesterday. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
So,
playing well. You know, they just finally beat they beat the Denver Broncos, but the Denver Broncos the one that blowed out the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm
the
saying
Cowboys.
it's a lot of weird shit. It's like look at this. We beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and we beat the
Right.
Washington football team. But
Right.
the Washington football team beat the Tampa Bay. So is Tampa Bay really that good of a team that everybody's saying? I mean, because it ain't like we know you're missing Antonio Brown and Scotty Miller, you're speedsters, but who cares? You still got Mike Evans and them. I mean, we beat y'all with no receiver. So I mean, what is
Exactly.
their excuse? So I mean, what's their excuse for it? They're gonna just
and
say,
let me say this, and as much as we do not like the Dallas Cowboys, they beat the dog shit out of the Falcons last Sunday.
Yep.
They beat them like this, showed them like there's no mercy out there, bruh.
And I don't think I said anything, Brian, but you know, Phillip Rivers coming to the Saints is like a 2017, you know, on up Drew Brees coming back to the Saints. I love Drew Brees and I appreciate Drew Brees as the GOAT, but I don't want to go through that same run with Drew. He's so physically limited. There's so many things that defenses
It's the
know that
playoff
they
ring you
can't
worried
do.
about.
You know, that's not what we looking for. That's not what we looking for. So I'm not a big fan of that at all.
all right. So Brian asked a question. He
And
said,
get a long-term contract. I think it's possible, Brian.
yeah.
I think it is very possible, Brian. I think it is. I think he's shown enough to come
So,
back.
Brian-
I think he will be back.
Okay, absolutely.
I'm not sure about the long-term contract. You know, I'm not sure about what happens after that.
Yeah.
But man, you know, was he perfect? No, he wasn't perfect. But the path that he was on was, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, So
Definitely.
And look, I still blame linebacker Devin White for putting them out.
Hey.
But one thing I've been looking at and kind of noticing too that it's a long off season. And Russell Wilson was a lot of talk about him coming to New Orleans Saints. And that didn't happen because, you know, Pete Carroll told Russell that he was going to be more offensive and have more of an offensive, you know, mindset. And he's going to basically that they was going to play better. And look at what's going on with them. First game back from his dislocated finger. They haven't been playing well. Defense is not well. Offense is not well. You know, it's going to be you never know what free agency has to bring. But when we sitting here right now, I want Jameis Winston. I do. I miss him right now. I really do. You know, I feel bad for what happened. You know?
Yep. He said, I apologize for bringing his name up. The only reason why I did, Blocked on the Saints podcast, was talking about it today. That's the only reason. Sorry about that. No disrespect. I love this podcast. I love the Saints.
Oh, you good?
Oh, you good?
You good, Brian? You good, Brian?
We understand, Brian. Look, it's all love, man. You have questions, just like everybody else. We have questions about what the Saints going to do next. We get that, bro. It's all right.
Yeah, Brian, don't ever apologize for your opinions or beliefs, man.
Exactly.
You're gonna have haters or deniers coming at your throat. Like I be having right now.
Yep.
But believe what you gotta believe, think what you gotta think. And if you wrong, accept it. I ain't wrong. I'm never wrong about what I think, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
You're never wrong. You're never wrong. Come on, Tyrese. You're never wrong.
Never wrong.
Oh.
All right, if you say so. So if you say so,
No,
if you say so. Hold on, I just want to say this out loud right now on live because it's just a little weird. Has anybody heard or seen my boy Coach Rudy? It's been a while since he got called out over here flirting with my friend Hannah, huh? He ain't been on since then. Is he trying to let that settle down? Because we're never gonna forget about that, you know.
Hold on, did I miss that night?
Yeah, I think you missed that night.
Yeah, you did.
Drop the link in the chat again because I want
What happened?
Into the round table.
Boy, Rudy was flirting hard as a bitch.
He was flirting with Hannah?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to sneak in a free ticket.
Yeah, let her know that he
like
can cook and clean and stuff. I'm like, but that ain't trying to flirt then, huh? You telling a girl you can cook and clean.
He started
Oh
talking
my
about random
God.
shit, so I had to get him back on topic. That shit was
When,
funny.
when was this, guys?
Shit, this was the night that we picked our winner, and I think it was the next one, huh? Wasn't the podcast that right after that one? Might have been.
I don't know,
Yeah, it
bro.
was.
Yeah, it was the podcast after I picked her to go to the Falcons game. So the video right after that one, she should be on that one, and you would laugh because ever since that video, he hasn't been in here ever.
He
I haven't
hasn't
seen
been.
him anywhere.
He ain't been anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder where he been.
Man, hit him up.
Hey, and also, hey, shout out to my guy T Dirty in the chat. That's the one. That's the one I call.
I missed it too, Pammy.
Sweet. That's the one I call sweet because as you remember last year when we swept the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he came on Big Q's podcast with a broom. He almost said, "You shout my names." The New Orleans Saints.
Hey,
Oh,
Shout out to my guy T Dirty.
hey, Mr. Jerry.
Dirty.
Hey, Jerry. We got to welcome somebody on the podcast that you called out and said to get on, so we're about to invite him on here to the podcast. So let's welcome Mr. T Dirty, man. Welcome to the Hoodie Jube Live podcast.
Wow.
What up?
with it, man?
go with it.
What's
good
up,
with it?
Dirty?
How we feeling after yesterday, man? How we feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Felt like we need a change.
Yeah, I'm still a little sore about it, but you know what? I can't let that eat me up though.
Nope.
Yeah, bro. We lost, bro. We lost by two extra points, bro.
Bro, we shot ourselves in the foot with these bonehead penalties.
Bonehead penalties.
Bad with
What
the
you
penalties.
say, bro?
Fight the referees as well, dude. Like,
Hey, bro. Hey,
behind,
hey,
don't push.
hey. We in that same boat, T Dirty. I understand. Bro.
Yeah. Hey, Brian,
Definitely
I
gotta
think
watch
I
out for
did
the Eagles,
hear
man.
something about that. I think it is still coming out. It's gonna be awesome too, I think.
I wonder how that's gonna be.
I heard about it last year. I think it's in production right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ talked about it last year. I think about that.
Is
Yeah.
Kevin James gonna be funny? Is he gonna be cocky,
He gonna
arrogant?
be serious. He gonna I didn't see Kevin James is funny. Well, he funny to some people, but I've actually seen him play some serious roles to where he didn't switched it up to where it was nothing like what you would think Kevin James was supposed to be like. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty good movie.
Probably will. It was pretty funny though when you heard Sean Payton about it, huh? When he heard about it.
Yeah, like I think.
Yeah, I think Sean talked about it too. I think, yeah.
But I'm still wondering about who gonna play Greg Williams.
I
have no idea.
Man,
shoot,
no idea.
I feel about his Eagles
game. I can't even think of one, bro. The only person that I know that can play a good Greg Williams. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's still around or not, but I'm looking at Gary Busey because he kind of almost looks like Greg
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey, yeah, that's the one.
Oh my God!
He kind of favor him to him, almost.
I guess they both kind of crazy. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, we all know Busey. Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
For Greg Williams, because he kind of
crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Greg Williams, who could play Greg Williams though?
That's just my that's just my opinion. That's all. Yeah. But yeah, T Dirty. But T Dirty, we
don't know.
Just chopping it up and talking about you, bro. I told him about
he was here
last year when we beat when we swept the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hobo had to break the broom out. That's why I gave you the name Sweet.
Yeah.
I almost said you shot
Man.
my pants. The New
I
But
can't fuck, man. I can't- And it's not even. It's just the fan base that came out the woodworks when they got Brady. All of a sudden they beating their chest. Like I can't do
Yeah,
stuff, bro.
yeah, they terrible.
They terrible. The
yeah,
only
but dude, that was funny that night. I just bust out
come out-
laughing, bro. Woo.
And that's true too. I can understand that, mate. Who that to you? You know,
man, who
the
that
defense. You know, defense is, but at the same time, man, it's so many ups and downs, bro. You know, it's so many things, bro.
this team's too inconsistent right now. Like I think Sean Payton probably when he put that yo-yo in their locker, it probably got in their head and made them do that yo-yo shit. I don't know, but
It probably did.
I understand what he was
Yeah,
trying to
man.
do. He probably did some reverse psychology on him, man. Because we so
Yeah.
inconsistent. Like Jerry said, you think you're gonna get it. So and I'm done with Troutman, man. I'm done with this.
I'm sorry, me too.
Man,
I
that dude need to go. That dude need
White
to
man,
go.
trot
homie.
these same on the field. If I'm on the couch and I can see what's happening,
Sorry,
you on the
man.
sideline, so I'm closer. Damn.
Man,
Yeah, he had
look,
some
Like,
T Dirty, I
That's
agree with you, bro.
Marlon Maul.
That dude need to go.
he gotta
Troutman
go,
need to
bro.
go.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm
that
sorry.
dude ain't gonna cut it.
And everybody talking about what he probably.
I'm sorry.
We don't
That's
have
a
no
good
time.
time for that dude, man.
We ain't giving more time. We got games left.
Man, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't know, man. I just think his mentality not there. Honest to God, bro. I really do.
Nah.
You know, it's
Hey.
not it's not about his play on the field to me. Like I said, it's about the mental lapse. It's about the mistakes. It's about the things that, you really can't be coached for
It's
the
just
things that you can't work on every week. It's just your mentality too messed up, man. You too nervous. You holding. You jumping off sides. You false starting. You're not chill. You're not poised. You're not confident in yourself. I'm not sure what it is. I'm really not. But I think Nick Vanette is gonna be in the game next week. I really do.
Yeah, he should. And then
I hope so.
basically, you can go T30. Hey, T30.
Rudy. I mean Hoodie.
Oh, you want me to go? Gotcha. All right. So basically what I was trying to say was, like, I know everybody's frustrated with Troutman and stuff, but me, I'm gonna still have belief in him, because he still plays for the Saints. And what the last thing I want to tell everybody about Troutman too is that, it took George Kittle like 3 to 4 years in the NFL to become George Kittle. And look what he's at. He's good blocking. He's a good catcher now. He's good at everything. And Troutman came into the league to be a good catcher. And last year he did good catching the ball, running his routes and stuff. But he was behind Jerry Cook, and he didn't have to be the blocking type of tight end. Well, this year was his year to be, the Jerry Cook, the guy out there first to be catching the balls and stuff like that. Well, that turned sideways whenever Nick Vanette came, and he got hurt. So now he had to be the number one blocking, and they moved Jawan Johnson. And Jawan Johnson, your catching receiver, catching tight end now. But now, once Vanette comes back, he's gonna be back into his, running the routes, catching the ball, doing all of that type of stuff that we've been missing, and that he's been missing in practices because he's been the blocking tight end. And like I said, I would probably give up on him if he doesn't do good if he doesn't show me anything next year or the following year. You know what I'm saying? When his contract's about to be up for a rookie contract, if he doesn't prove nothing then he ain't nothing. But that's why George Kittle finally got a big contract, because at the end of his rookie year, he finally showed who he really was after being in the league.
I can understand that too.
And that's why people say tight ends take a little bit longer to develop than most tight ends. Like, yeah, you might have some players that can just come in the league and just kill and just be like that. But I said that's why I tell everybody, just, take a little bit of time. Don't put too much stress on him. I know he's causing some of the games and stuff like that. But I said, what if we let him go right now and we cut him, and then in like a year or two he goes to a different team and he becomes that George Kittle because he just needed that year, like an extra year to develop.
Maybe
that's why I tell everybody, this is his first full season with the preseason and the offseason and everything going. So, like I said, everything was supposed to go to plan with Nick Vanette being our blocking tight end, and that did not happen. So, I always gonna have belief in him. I always see people getting mad about him, say he needs to go and stuff like that, which it's totally understandable. Everybody's getting pissed off about it, but in my mind, I'm gonna still believe in him and still have faith because, like I said, he plays in the black and gold, and like I said, it's only his second year, so I ain't gonna go off on somebody that's only his second year, and he can still have time to develop, especially when you're on a rookie contract and you're barely paying him nothing.
Yeah. And I can see both ways. I can understand what you're saying too, because look, black and gold too. I rep it. I'm repped out, and I love and support my team too. It's just the mental mistakes for me, man. They getting to be a little bit too much for me.
Too much, and we can't. It's hard to overcome mistakes when the referees is giving the other team the game. Like, god damn.
Right. Like either it and Sean Payton in the red zone. That's questionable too. It's not just Adam. Who knows if we would have converted that in the first place? Who knows what would have happened if he didn't get the penalty call? So it's not just Adam Troutman, man. But it's just he just doesn't do enough for me personally to let me know that if we lose or if we make a mistake, it's not gonna be him.
Yeah,
it's starting to be one of those tendency things to me that when a mistake is made, holding call, false start, legal shift, things like that, it's always like that was Troutman, I promise you. And it is. A lot of the times it is. It's not. I would much rather him drop all the passes he can. I would much rather him, miss a lot of blocking assignments than to have these penalties that is calling back touchdown opportunities, calling back points off the board when it's a tough game in the first place. So but I do agree with you, Hoodie. I mean, I do want to give him time. I do want him to develop. I do understand that. I really, really, really do. So.
Yep, and it doesn't even have nobody. And you gotta realize too, he don't even have Jared Cook anymore. To learn from and try to be behind somebody. He's being forced to be that person to go in when he might not even be ready. Like I said, some people come into the league, they sit behind somebody, they learn and all that. You barely see people come in right in the league having to be the best tight end in the league for your team. And that's what I'm trying to say about the Nick Vannett part. Nick Vannett is a veteran, and that's why he got picked for us, but he hasn't been on the field yet because he's hurt. So once he gets on the field, and maybe that will take a little relief off of Trotman, and he don't have to be used as much. He won't be on the line on that 2-point conversion, just to be put in for a block. That'll be Nick Vannett right there. So it's just like I said, just release a little bit of pressure off of him, and we just better hope that Nick Vannett comes back healthy to where they'll release some pressure off of him, and we don't have to worry about Trotman 24/7 doing all of these mistakes and stuff. And one of the good news that we got this weekend from Adam Troutman, it was posted on Twitter today by Mr. Larry Holder, one of the reporters. He said the crazy thing that as of today, before the Rams game, Troutman was the highest rated player with the most separation this weekend. So he has separation on a lot of people, the highest separation in the NFL this past weekend. And he caught the balls that he needed to, besides that one overdrawn because he stopped and Trevor kept drawing, thought he was going to keep going. Yeah. And then we had a few bad calls, and that's what overlooked his game as a whole. Because last game, we were complaining he can't catch a goddamn ball. He needs to go. This game, he catches the ball, and then there was a penalty that effed up everything. So everybody's overlooking stuff like that. And I said once he cleans that up, them penalties, because he don't have to worry about being the one on third down and short, because Nick Vannett would be there, and he can literally just go into his road, and all he's got to focus on is kill people with his route run that he can do. Catch the ball, everybody's going to start looking at him like, damn, okay, he really ain't bad like we think he is. He's just maybe not the person to be a blocking tight end. He's not. He's not a person that should be down on third down and 2 blocking. He's not a blocker. He's mainly a catcher, and that's why we got him. You heard his record rankings at Dayton in college, killing people, being lined up as a receiver sometimes, killing people downfield with 20-yard-plus yards plays, because that's how good he is as a receiver type of person. He's not a blocker, but they're using him right now because Juwan Johnson is a lot worse at blocking, even though he's a bigger man, to be honest. So I think that's why I said.
Yeah, but Juwan Johnson a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver, but he's big though.
In him anyways.
Yeah, like Juwan Johnson's big though. I thought he would be like with his big body and big frame, he can block good. But like they said, he's behind Trotman. Trotman's a better blocker, and Trotman's learning. But like I said, once Nick Vannett comes back, I feel like Trotman's gonna start doing a lot better. I feel like he's gonna have more stuff, more time to practice on his stuff that he needs to do to be catching the ball, and he don't have to worry about being on the freaking third down shorts. Here plays just to block, because Nick Vannett that's the man we literally picked up in free agency for, And that's what I want to see. I want to see Nick Vannett on the field blocking like he's supposed to be, being that damn good tight end, and we can have Trotman and Jawan Johnson coming in on the passing plays when we need them.
Yeah.
Well, look,
But
I just want to holler in and say, we got this. I guess, keep our head up. I'm still trying to get over. I'm good though, but I got to go into this workplace, man. Do this graveyard shift, man, and I want to hop in. Jerry called me. I said I'm gonna come see what y'all up to. Shout out to everybody at the table with me, Jerry OG, for everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch the game every Sunday and expect something different, expect something new, man. That's all I can do.
Who that?
Yep. Who that? And it looks like we lost Mr. Tyrese somewhere. I don't know where he went.
I don't know. He always
I think we lost him. Yeah, I think we definitely lost him. But I'm going to put the link back in the chat for anybody because it looks like we had some more people joined in earlier. We're going to put it in here for anybody else that wants to come let off their thoughts. Just in case Mr. Ice Cream Man 504 pops in or somebody like that, or Ghostface Gorilla, just in case somebody wants to pop on in and talk to me, Crusher, and Mr. Jerry about everything. They're more than welcome to come on here and talk. But I guess we can, say we basically went over everything we needed to for the Titans game. Now we can kind of move on right now just to give each of us our little thoughts about the Eagles, I felt like, I told everybody, I feel like this weekend, since we lost 2 back-to-back, this is going to be like one of them games where, hey, we know we need to win this. We shouldn't have to lose to the Eagles. And last year, we should have never lost to the Eagles, but we did because we didn't have no films on Jalen Hurts. We wasn't for sure what kind of quarterback he was going to be as his first time starting. So that kind of screwed us, and now we know what he does. Now we got film on him. So I feel like this is going to be like our revenge game to get back on track to winning, and it's going to be our revenge game back to get our revenge from last year when they beat us and, made us take an L and made us – that was like one of the wins we should have had to where we could have been number one in the NFC. That's what kind of hold us too. So
late in the season too, man. Late in the season.
Yep. So it's late in the season again. It's like mid-season. So I feel like we're gonna come back and get this revenge games. And like I tell everybody, we just need to keep a QB spy on Jalen Hurts because he can run. And like I said, focus more on the passing. They cannot run the ball. Trust me, they are not gonna run the ball down our defense. Our defense is too good. Our front 4, front 5, whatever you want to call them, can handle the front. Put more cornerbacks and safeties on the field to worry about the passes, and I'm telling y'all, we'll be looking more elite because nobody won't be able to get downfield. Because like I said, if you have a 2-man on the top, like play a 2-man coverage, have 2 men over the top watching, so you got 2 safeties on each side watching on the east side of the field, and then you have your safeties and corners up front watching, and then you have, like I said, your extra man watching the middle of the field with us. They can't really get many big plays. And I'm telling you, we can stop the run easily. I don't give a damn what people say. Our front 4 is so damn good. If you run it up the middle, they're going to stuff it up. They're going to close that gap with just 4 people. So that's my thoughts on the Eagles game so far until we hear more news about if we're going to get Kamara back and, et cetera, and see who's going to be on the field.
And I haven't really paid attention to the Eagles stats, the ins and outs of this year. I know for the majority of the year they haven't been a very good football team, but it seemed like the last 2 games they've been kind of putting it together. And kind of getting an identity, maybe, or just maybe they just playing. Maybe they just playing with more intensity. Maybe they have no idea who they are yet. They coach I'm not a big Nick Sirianni fan. I'm not a big fan of anything they do. Rosie Osmond, I'm not a big fan of none of them, honestly. I have nothing really good to say about the Philadelphia Eagles at all. I really don't. Jalen Hurts, I do like Jalen Hurts' ability. I do like his talent. I don't know if that's enough to get him over the hump. I don't know why they traded Zach Ertz. They got so many problems. I don't know if they think they're gonna be there next year. Just a whirlwind of an organization right now, and it's one of those organizations that's just always in question. Things always seem, questions always seem to circulate the locker room and the front office. So, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll start to look at everything and see how we match up with them this year. But, certain games, bro, like we've been through this adversity, bro. We just got to put a lot of stuff behind us, and keep it pushing, keep it moving. How you doing? That's all we can do, and move on to the next game. I mean, we lost 2 in a row. It's been a while since we've been here. But I mean, we done been through so much that it's like, the adversity, we expect the adversity. Not only do we expect the adversity, it's almost to the point like we wouldn't want it any other way. Because what warrants the virtue of being kept if it can't be earned? And right now we're in a position to earn everything we get. So it's gonna be a fun ride to week 17. We got a couple of bangers and a couple of dinkers. We could win the bangers and lose to the dinkers. we could beat the Bills and lose to the Dolphins. Let's just be honest. Just how our season has been going.
Everybody's saying how hard it is.
We could beat the Cowboys and lose to the Falcons again. Like, we just really don't know right now, bro. But I know we got a couple of good teams. I know we got a couple of bad teams. We ending our year, season opponent. It might come down to week 17, us going to Atlanta. That might be the last seed, the wild card seed for the playoffs. That might be everything. The way it's that might be the game right there. So
that
hey,
would suck.
It would suck, but it's just a very wild season, bro. Like, for real. Like, man, I wanted to call in last night, but I fell asleep, bro. Because I just get so upset, man. Because it's not like overall we such a bad team. I think we just make these crazy mistakes, and then you get hit with Ty Montgomery dislocating his finger early in the game for no reason. He dislocated his finger off a Trevor Siemian pass. Like, there wasn't even with that much velocity on it. Like, it's just mentally exhausting to be a Saints fan sometimes, y'all. And I know y'all feel it too. And it just a topsy-turvy, crazy year. It's definitely one of those years. And, man.
I agree with you, Crusher. I agree with you.
So,
because what you said speaks volume, Crusher. Because I'm about to say that same thing. You gotta look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of the 2021-22 season, bro. It's been we just saw some more upsets these last couple of weeks. For example, you just saw Miami shot and beat Baltimore on Thursday night. We did see that. Because I thought when Baltimore went into Miami, they're going to probably beat them like maybe about a couple of touchdowns, maybe at least 10. But these Miami Dolphins came out of nowhere and played Miami Dolphin football and beat Baltimore. See, these are the kind of games right here that you really have to stay focused on, because we don't know what this next team gonna do next. Just like the opponents that we face on the upcoming week. You never know which team you're gonna get. Just like Sunday when we played the Titans. Just like last week when we played the Falcons. We don't know which team you're gonna get. And I said this like a couple of years ago when we played the Vikings in the wild card, and I was in town and I was visiting with my dad. The day before the wild card game, I said, Dad, we don't know which Viking team you're going to get. You don't know which team you're going to get. You're going to get the one that lost to the Bears in the finale, or you're going to get the one that's going to come out of nowhere and beat us. And that's exactly what we got, because you never know what these teams are going to do in the upcoming weeks. And because next thing you know, Miami might come and beat us. Who knows?
Exactly.
The Jets, as bad as they are, they might pull a shocking win on us. You never know what they're going to get. So they're going to bring, like I say all the time, the Saints going to have to bring their A game, and these other teams that the Saints face, they're going to bring their A game just like we are. Because you never know what you're going to expect in the upcoming weeks ahead. You just never know. And I'm sure all 31 teams are in that same boat. Yeah.
Yeah. And you never know what kind of players we going to have or the players that we going to get. So
exactly.
You never, we don't be knowing what type of Marshawn Lattimore we going to get. It's weird like that.
Think about that saying from Forrest Gump. When Forrest Gump talk about, he always say, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know which one you're going to get. because that's the same way with these teams that we face every week. You never know what you're going to get out of these teams coming in to face
Nope.
the New Orleans Saints. So we just got to show up just because they're going to do the same thing. Like I said, because anything can happen any given Sunday, any given week. You name it, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's the writing on the wall. The Los Angeles Rams are losing. That's gonna be 2 in a row they done lost.
Yeah,
This year, dude.
They just wrapped up and they lost 31-10. So now they're 7-3 right now.
So I mean, this year is a topsy turvy year. You never know what's gonna happen. So it is what it is.
Like a roller coaster, bro.
It's just one of those years, man.
It is. I don't know what type of year this is. It seems like like I said, any given Sunday, but we're gonna say any given week now, somebody can lose. It's just crazy. It's just like, and then what's crazier, like I said, it seems like everybody on everybody's team is getting hurt, torn all their ACLs. Like literally, every time you turn around, somebody torn their ACL. Like Jameis Winston tore his. Odell just went to the Rams. Then freaking Robert Woods tore his. Then Chase Young torn his against the Buccaneers this weekend. So it's like there's so many different people that are star players
and still beat the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stop it, NFL, please! I can't take it. I can't take it, Lord. The football guys, please help me.
Like I just said earlier, anything can happen, bro.
I mean. It is the parody. The parody is live and well. You can't even call teams underdogs. You can't call them overdogs. You can't call them the ones that's supposed to win. You can't call them nothing. You can't say any of that for the rest of the season to me. Oh, you play them? Oh, you play the Jets? Oh, okay. Respect them because Mike White might come out there and fuck you up. Don't talk about no Jets this and that. Go respect the teams you playing. We play the Eagles? Oh, well, we're going to respect that green and white. I'm going to respect them. I'm going to respect them.
That's exactly what I was talking about just now. I say, we don't, because as bad as the Jets are, you never know what you're going to get out of this team. You never know.
We never know.
Every other team that we face, I already said that. You never know what you're going to get, bro. That's why you have to show up and play.
And play.
We just got to show up, win, and I think all we have to do too is literally, like I told everybody, I read out all the stats to y'all that we beat them in every phase on the field, and all we have to do now to move on forward to win the rest of our games is to do what we did, beat everybody in every phase of the game, every stats of the games, and limit the mistakes, make the extra points when we need them. Hit no damn penalties when something deep, like, just do like a little false start penalty when it's like 2nd down and 2. Okay, it's whatever. Yeah. But not when we on our side of the field, that's fine. But not when we in the red zone or when it's a touchdown and get a call back or something. That's what we don't need. When it's like a small play, cool. Yeah, he got 2 yards and it was a holding call, bet. But now when we're going downfield and we just got a 40-yard bomb and you get called for a holding, yes, those are the mistakes that we don't need to make. Like I said, make the damn extra point, make your field goals, make the easy stuff that we need to make. And like I said, I feel like we can win. And the last thing we got to fix is, literally, don't drop the shit. If the ball's in your hands and it hits you, catch that shit for us. That's all we need you to do. And I'm not telling you, we can easily win with the team that we have. And,
we can.
And some people are complaining about the team and about the coaches and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I want to see any other coach come coach this team right now. They would be 0-9 right now with the coaches. Why? Our coaches know how to use our people. We know how to scheme up plays for people to do this. And we scheming up perfect plays for people to get open. And they put them right in there. Yeah. And even if they're not open, Trevor Simeon's doing a hell of a job putting it right in their hands. So
I mean, look at number 14, ex number 22, my dog, my favorite Saint of all time. Look what he did yesterday. To get Deuce record, over 100 yards between passing and receiving. I mean, he had 66 yards. 20. What he had on the ground, man? What he had on the ground? Hold on, y'all.
Like 50 something, I think. On the yard,
47 yards on the ground. That swing, that option, toss. That play that play design was magnificent. That probably is the play of the game for the Saints, the best play of the game for me personally, because you see him waiting for the blocks, you see him have the patience, then you see the explosion through the canales that was made. Zach Ertz got out there and made a good block. Throckmorton got out there and made a good block. Everybody was on the seam. You had things sealed up, and then you seen him take off. And that's something that you've seen in the yesteryear of his career. And so, to your point, come to the Saints, you're reinvigorating yourself as a person, as a player. You know, he wasn't doing shit like that at the Ravens. He damn sure wasn't doing shit like that in the Texans. But he came home, and look at what's going on. You know, so, and once again, I'll say this. A healthy Saints team is a scary as fuck Saints team. Excuse my language. I don't think nobody in the league wants to see that. I don't think nobody wants that smoke with us when we healthy. I really don't. Honestly, I really, really, really don't. I really don't.
I think people were scared to play us, especially a healthy defense and a healthy offense.
And Marcus Davenport, with the 2 sacks, played phenomenal yesterday.
Yeah, he put that one ball on his ass and pushed him into his own quarterback for a tackle.
Look, he probably gets the game ball in a way. He played phenomenal.
And also, I want to say one last thing to everybody too. And I wanted to tell y'all too. I know us as Saints fans, we get frustrated about shit, about like Troutman. We get frustrated at Ruiz and all that. Do you notice the people that we really getting pissed off about and getting aggravated are like second years from being rookies, you know? Like literally in their second year. And we're getting all pissed off at them about it. So let's say like Ruiz allowed 2 sacks or whatever in that game. Let's say 2 of those sacks was his. But nobody's looking at it was, you know, from quarter 1 to quarter 4, with all them snaps that we did, he didn't allow a sack every damn play. It was 2 plays, right. and it was it might have been back-to-back plays that he just got frustrated on and just got beat. And I'm like, everybody's gonna get beat no matter how good of a guard you are. And I said, but you didn't hear Ruiz's name for the rest of the game, besides the 2 sacks that he got back-to-back. But people criticizing for him. He needs to go to the bench. But what happened for the rest of the game from quarter number 1 through quarter 4? We didn't hear nothing. We didn't hear nobody really criticizing Troutman the whole game, literally until the end of the 4th quarter when he did that penalty. Because why? He went 5 for 6. He did nothing bad. He got the most separation, got open, caught the ball like we wanted him to. That we said from the last week that he can't catch a damn cold. Well, he was catching the colds and shit yesterday. But it was that one penalty that mainly got on everybody's nerves, and from the penalties from different games too. So that's why I said we're getting all on mad about that stuff. And like Big Q says, because this came out of Big Q's mouth, we're not looking at the positive shit that they're doing too. We're just overlooking them with the negative stuff. And some of the negative stuff is basically 1 or 2 plays compared to the whole game that they're doing, and nobody's giving them credit for it. And that's what I'm saying. The whole, but it's like it's kind of like what Big Q said with the quarter 1 through 3. We didn't do shit, but the 4th quarter, that 1 quarter, we made 22 points and made a comeback and get the Falcons. That was something incredible, but nobody gives them credit for it because they seen them first 3 quarters. We didn't do shit when we should have been doing something, which is understandable. But for people to criticize a player or somebody like that for 1 or 2 plays that might have happened in a row, but didn't happen the whole game, it's kind of messed up. You know, it's like, hey, we not in the NFL. We not the one trying to block a fucking 350-pound dude. Rushing through the middle. I mean, it's not easy.
Look. When I get frustrated for face value for what I'm looking at. I got frustrated with Cesar yesterday because he didn't play good. I don't think Cesar needs to be benched. I don't think he needs to be changed in a position on the field. I don't think none of that. I just think he had a bad game, and I'm calling him out for it. When I get mad at Adam Troutman, I don't get mad at him, sparingly. I get mad at him at the it's starting to be a continuum of the mistakes that he makes. It's not just one game. It's not just one play. It's not just one missed pass. It's just he's starting to have a collection of, mental complications that is making him play a little bit worse. But it doesn't. Burn down the Superdome and start over. That's some pig-headed shit. And we do need to stop that because I'll take my team with the flaws and all over any team in the league right now, and I don't care about it because I love my Saints and I love my coaching staff. I love what we do every Sunday. We have to understand we lost by 2 points to the best team in the AFC right now, arguably.
Yep.
You know, like if the playoffs started today, they would be the number 1 seed. And we just lost to them by 2 points with more rushing yardage and passing yardages than they did.
And that's with
And
our
more
third
first
string.
downs.
And you got to say it like this, too. That's with our third string quarterback and our
Right,
third
so,
or fourth string receiver. And, like, yeah, you can even it up and say, okay, no Derrick Henry. We had no Alvin Kamara. That's even out. Cross that out. All right, so where's the excuse now that y'all lost to us by 2 points when we don't even have our starting kicker? Well, y'all do. We got a backup kicker, and that's new. Second of all, y'all got y'all starting receiver in A.J. Brown while we don't have no Michael Thomas. And I guarantee you, if we would have had our starting quarterback in Jameis Winston, our starting receiver in Michael Thomas, but no Kamara, and let's say we had our kicker back, Will Lutz, like they did, we would have easily won that game. Easily. But no, they don't see that. They just see it as, oh, damn, we fucked up and made some bad plays. Yeah, they're going to make some bad plays. They third strings people. They're not your first string people. They're not your starter. That's why they're not a starter right now. The reason why they're starting now is because everybody's hurt. And that's what people's got to realize. They're going to make mistakes. But when they don't make the mistakes, y'all don't say shit. But as soon as they make one little mistake, people want to get on to them and be harsh about it. And that's why I tell people, calm down. This is a third string. And I said, just wait till next year when everybody's 100% healthy. Like you said, it's going to be a scary team that nobody's going to want to play when we're 100% healthy on both sides.
I truly believe that. I really do. And these hard times that we going through, they all gonna pay off. They all have a purpose, bro. Because it's gonna feel so good to see our healthy team on the field, confident. You know, with no injuries. We just had one of them snake-bitten type of years, man. Where this hurt, that hurt. That's not on the field when we need it. This is play calling. You know, just one of those years that, you know, we never could find a lot of consistency when we need it. And, you know, I just was thinking about how, you know, the successful teams this year, as far as record-wise, you know, they're not having all of the injuries that we have, in lingering injuries from starters to backups to, you know, circumstantial bullshit going on around their team that we are having. And, you know, I mean, it's just been a year of adversity, you know, so, Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Hey, and to be honest, I'm going to answer this question to Mr. 504 Kill. I'm going to show it up on here for everybody. He said, Hoodie, do you think it's a good idea of throwing Mace Troutman a healthy scratch in this game to try and motivate him? So basically, like, you know, treat him as a healthy scratch. So I would say no. The reason why I would say no is because if Nick Vanette's supposed to play this week, like they saying he's supposed to, if he comes back, then he can be back in his role to where he can run and catch and everything. And another thing is the reason why if I was a coach, I would never bench somebody for making a mistake when he's, you know, not really your number one tight end on the team, because, you know, Nick Vanette's your main person for them. You know, like I said, it's cards penalties. He's doing his job as a tight end, as a catching tight end, catching stuff besides the Falcons game where he messed up. And this is how I see it. If you bench somebody and tell them you're a healthy scratch, but I don't want you to play, how is that going to motivate the man? He can't be on the field to cover the mistakes that he did and prove to you, like, hey, I can make the mistakes. So I'm going to put him on the field again. And if he keeps making the mistakes, that's when I'll be like, yo, you made it 4 or 5 games in a row, bro. You ain't did shit. You ain't did it. But he did good last game, like I said, besides that one penalty that we all looking at. But we're not looking at the 5 catches off of 6 targets. And being the only guy to get open, too. We're not looking at that. We're looking at that penalty, and now we pissed off about him again. So benching somebody's not going to prove nothing wrong to him and motivate him, because he can't prove to you on the field that he can't make the mistake because he's on the bench. So how will you know? And that kind of relates to the Sean Payton shit. Like, Sean Payton needs to go. He sucks. The play calling's ass. If he doesn't try that certain play, how you know if it's going to work? We don't know if it's going to fail. That's why he's got this book in front of him like this, and he's check marking everything that he sees, and something that didn't work, he'll put an X by it, knowing that, hey, maybe this will work on another defense, because the way they ran this defense, it didn't work. So he knows, and that's what it is about coaching. It's hard to just change adjustments and just look at it like that while you're in the game. And and like I said, it's hard to just say, Troutman dropped the ball, 1 catch, let me pull this man off the field, and he's done with. No, he's the one that's been practicing with your team the whole damn week, so you need that man in there because he's the one who's been practicing and drawing somebody else in the game that hasn't been your starter and ready to go. So that's why I try to tell people: just be relaxed, be calm. This is going to be a roller coaster ride this year, and like I said, I agree with some of these people on Twitter saying we all getting so harsh at these people and getting mad at a team that we love because they losing, but they losing to good teams like the AFC #1 team, and you lost to a rivalry team, but almost made a comeback. And they said, do you not see the players that we have and all the people that are out hurt that we winning with right now? So it's basically saying you expect us to lose, but for us to be in close games like this and almost winning is what's making our blood pressure like, oh my gosh, we're about to win this shit. And then we lose, and that's what disappoints us. But everybody, you need to keep their eye open and look at it like this. We should lose every week because we literally playing practice squad people in third strings right now because with all these injuries, we should lose. Keep that type of, start in your head to where you don't be getting all pissy about us if we do lose. Because at the end of the day, if we had all our healthy people, 100%, everybody was healthy, then we can get pissed off about losing to the Titans because we should be the best team in the league with everybody that we have. Right. But we can't because you got a third-string quarterback. You got your backup running back in Mark Ingram. Like I said, you got a third or fourth receiver at receiver with undrafted players. You got your left tackle and your left guard out, so you got 2 new people on your left side. And then you lost Garner Johnson the other day. So you got a lot of, injuries and new people in all different spots. But we still almost beat a #1 AFC team that had their starting quarterback, that had their starting receivers. So, like I said, everybody just lower your expectation, I guess you can say. Just lower that down a little bit and just think like, hey, we got a shot every weekend, because this is my thoughts. I know we can lose any given Sunday because it's any given Sunday you can lose. But at the same time, in my head, I think that we have a shot no matter who's playing because of one reason, our coaching staff. They know how to coach. And that's why I tell people, we can always – I think that's why all our fans still believe that we can beat people, but they don't want to admit it. A lot of people get pissed off after the game and say, oh, that was bad play calling by him. This was this and that.
All right.
But the real question is, was it really a bad play call, or was it a bad performance play by the player on the field? Did he not perform it to the way that he should have, like he did in practice, that made him want to call that play? But we don't look at shit like that. We don't look at what could have been. We just look at it right then and there. Oh, that was shits. But then when you go back and look at stuff, like Crusher, remember how you said you was mad about that holding call? That brought that 30 run back against the Falcons. We was there at the game when they showed the replay on the screen during the commercial break. When they called that shit, we were booing. Trotman didn't even hold him, but we looking at it and we being pissed off about that holding call. Right? That wasn't even a holding call on him. It was just a big ass run play, and the ref said, "Oh fuck that! You ain't getting no big play. Flag on the play." So we criticizing all these people, like I said, that are young starters. That's young, that is starting when they shouldn't be, but they are because of the injuries that we're dealing with and with the cap space that we have. So just lower your expectation with us, but always believe that we can win with this coaching staff that we have, and always have a belief in these black and gold. And that's all I can really say to everybody, to basically try to change your mind and calm you down. But I'm saying at the end of the day, when people are still aggravated and mad, they're going to come in the chat and go anywhere and just say, this person such needs to go, this person needs to go, da-da-da-da-da. It's just like if you put me on the field and I try to go do his job and I start sucking, you're going to be saying, Hoodie, Jube, get the hell off the field. But I don't need to be in the game. I'm not no NFL player. But they got to use me because I'm the last person they can pick right now because everybody's hurt. So, like I said, lay off the harsh stuff on people. And the last thing I can tell everybody too right now, everybody needs to lay off the rude comments and harsh on the players. It's because people putting this all on Twitter and all this. What if a real person like Adam Troutman and Cesar Ruiz, who are football players, professional players, what are they watching my stream right now? And we don't know it. What are they watching the stream and they come back and watch it later and they hear everybody saying Troutman needs to go, he's ass. You think that's going to motivate them? Probably not. That's probably making like, well, damn, my city don't believe in me, dude. I mean, I must be doing something wrong. You got to give him credit and give him, like, belief. Like, if I brought Trotman on the show and just talked to Trotman, I'll tell them, hey, we know a lot of people are pissed off about certain shit you did and this and that, but me, I believe in you, brother. You're young. It's only your second year. It takes tight ends like y'all to develop 3 to 4 years, and I believe in you because I can tell with the stuff that you showed us, the positive stuff. I believe in you. I can see what you can bring to the table. But you being asked to do extra shit that you shouldn't have to be doing, and that's what's taking away your good stuff, making you look a little bit worse because you knew to be in a blocking tight end. You knew to be in that blocking tight end on 3rd down and 2 instead of having Nick Vannett, the veteran, doing that. And that's why I tell people I don't expect him to be the best tight end on the team right now because your best tight end is going to be your veteran, and that's Nick Vannett. He knows what to do as a blocking tight end. He knows what to do, but he's hurt, and that's why I said a lot of these people are so young. The receivers, Callaway, he's still learning. It's his 2nd year. Deontay Harris is his 3rd year. He's still learning as a receiver because he's mainly on punt returns and shit. He's not a full-time receiver, but he's doing his thing. He's stepping up. That's why I said we can't go hard on everybody. The only person that you might can go hard on is Traquan. But sometimes we can't go hard on him because when we actually need him to show up in the game, he's been showing up lately. He's been showing up. So, like, I know the injury sucks, but injuries is everywhere you play. No matter what sport you play, you're going to have injuries. And there's nothing we can do to say, hey, this is what you can do to prevent injuries. We can't prevent them, you know? And that's why I tell people, just lower your expectation, but also keep in mind that it's any given Sunday, we can beat anybody. And have thoughts about your coach and have belief in your team because of the coaching staff that we have. Now, if we didn't have Sean Payton and all of them and we just had a random coach, I'd be like, yo, this season's going 0-17.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be looking at.
Yeah.
I agree. So I mean, I definitely don't mean to bombard players and slander them and you know just want to turn into like you know persecute Adam Troutman hour and try to just you know shit on everybody that I think's not playing well. If you have a bad game, I'll call you out on it. But it doesn't go as far as take you out the game or not start you or trade you or anything like that. Because, you know, sometimes players do need that motivation to hear that they aren't playing well. Marshawn Lattimore, you haven't been playing well, brother. Don't know what's up. I love you. You're one of my favorite Saints. You feel me? I love your poise and your cool, you know, but you give up plays to people that, you know, that we've seen you have better talent than, and, you know, you kind of been giving that up. So, you know, and I think he knows that. The team knows that, you know, but it ain't like I don't want him on my team. It's nothing like that at all. So, hey.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with both of y'all.
Yep.
And we have to realize, too, for 15 years, we've had a team that, for no matter what, would have a lot of solidarity, a lot of confidence, a lot of communication, a lot of continued success together that, you know, we don't have right now. We you know, this is a brand new experiment for everybody involved. So, you know, yeah, we're gonna be frustrated, but you know, if to be honest, you shouldn't even came into this year thinking of having high success or number 1, number 2 seeds in the NFC playoffs and things like that. You should have just had tapered expectations because of the situation that we in. We're a brand new football team. And the downs are gonna suck, and it always gets you know worse before it get better, and we just gotta stick along and ride along and be along for the ride, and you know when we do produce, when we do get on, when we do have everything in full unison, we're gonna be scary. Yep. And we might not see that till next year, but we're gonna be scary as hell. I promise you that.
Yep, and that's why I tell people lower the expectation. Remember that we are without a lot of starters that we should be having on the field. And I said, for us to even have games like this, to be this freaking close to winning, or for a damn stupid ref call to blow us, you know, to F us over, or just extra points to lose, shows you how really good of this team really is. Because if you would have had your starting kicker, Will Lutz, I don't think he would have missed extra points. If you would have had your starting wide receiver, Michael Thomas, they would never be able to guard him. We'll be drawing darts to him all day. If you had Kamara, they would have had to watch Kamara on the field instead of, and you still got to worry about Mark Ingram, what he did by himself on the field. And if you had your left side, your Armstead and your Andrews Pete in there, they would be holding it down better than what the people are in there right now doing. They're going to be doing their thing. You'll have Garner Johnson out there getting into people's heads, aggravating them on defense. Everything would be so much different. But with all the injuries we have, for us to even have games to where, damn, to have our heart racing and being that close, that shows you how good this team is compared to, like, I know the Falcons are a good team. They beat us. Yeah, they're a rivalry team. But look at them. They got their ass spanked by the Cowboys. We don't get spanked that bad because we got a good coaching staff that knows how to handle their business and how to keep us in the game. And it's not just the players. It's the coaching. It's the people who call the plays for us for them players to perform and look good. But yeah, it is also players too, because like on certain plays, receivers just can't get open compared to like Michael Thomas would. And stuff like that. So that's why I tell people, just lower that expectation for this team, y'all. Have faith in us, and always remember that you have a good-ass coaching staff, so any given damn Sunday, we can win. So you might go into the weekend saying, fuck, the Eagles looked really good last week, but I don't feel like we're going to win this weekend, dog. We lost 2 straight. Trevor Simeon's at quarterback. Taysom Hill should be there. Instead, we can all think like that. But when we go into the weekend and then you're like, damn, we beat the Eagles. Yeah, we won. Yeah, because you have a good coaching staff. You really have a good team. And with all the people that's backups, that's not supposed to be your starter, but they are, shows you how good they really are at being a backup in a third string, that they even keeping us in games like this.
Right.
And that shows you how well coached this team is to keep people that are second, third, fourth strings to perform like a second stringer. Because some of these third or fourth strings are really performing like a second stringer should, but they all missing their number one in front of them. So now they having to step up as a third or fourth string to be your number one. And that's what making everybody so mad when you look at him like, Kevin White, why you didn't catch the ball? Well, guess what? He's not really an NFL starter. That's why he's been bouncing team to team to team, and Sean Payton's trying to give him hope and try to help him out.
Yeah.
Because he sees stuff that he can do. Like, you see him, he gets open. He just can't hold on to the ball or something like that. When he goes up in the air or something, like if it's like like down the stretch wide open, I think he can catch it. But it's just like the diving catches, jumping up for it and shit. He don't seem like he's that type of receiver because he's not your typical starter. Like I said, if you had all your starters still and you had Amanda Sanders still and brought him back, Kevin White wouldn't be on the field. So that's why I tell everybody, you got to look at it like that way.
In the first place. So yeah,
and that's what I tell people.
You gotta stick with your team. Gotta stick with what's going on. We gonna have better days. This ain't the end for us. This is not. Every NFL organization goes through this. We ain't been here in a while, but the adversity. I'm telling you, bro. This is what builds teams. This is what builds us. If we came on our podcast every week and talk about how we whipping everybody ass, and talking about how successful we are, then what else are we going to talk about? That's when you no longer are looking for ways to get better, but you're just on here gloating and bragging about your team and how good they are. Yep. I bet you teams that won yesterday, they podcast not just gloating about how they won. They still looking at how they can be better. They still looking at certain ins and outs of the game that was like, man, we got to get better. We want to make a run. We got to get better at that. We got to get better. And every team goes through this. So and pay attention to the game and to what's going on in the game and the players in the game, and like I said, taper the expectations, bro. That's all I can say. Taper the expectations.
And just to let everybody know too, this is the hope that you can look at. Right, you can be pissed all you want, and like I said, these are third strings being starters for you because we got the injuries. And I said, but look at it like this: what if Sean Payton and the coaching staff somehow finish 11-5? I mean 11-6 or 12-5 or something like that. What if we just lose 1 or 2 more games and win the rest, make it to the playoffs, and let's say we win a playoff game and move up in the playoffs, and we win, but we just don't make it all the way because of the team we got right now because they're not 100% healthy. If they show you and all of that, and they showing you the good things, but then they showing you bad things, but guess what? They not your starters. So guess what? They on the field making mistakes like they should because they starters, but they making good stuff too, positive stuff that we not looking because we overlooking that. And I said if you add all of that together, that means we're gonna have a lot more hope next year. Because when everybody's 100% healthy and the good people that your starters are making those good stuff, making the good catches and stuff, and if let's say somebody goes down again next year, we got a good player to back it up because we made it to the playoffs with the whole third string
with
team.
everybody
basically.
else.
So
And
then
and you know what? That might be in this infant level of New Orleans Saints football that we in without Drew Brees, this post Drew Brees era, this post Drew Brees experiment. That might be the most important thing out of anything. Not the wins, not the successful team that we building. It's the second string. It's the team. It's the backups to who are coming in the game now that back up our starters. We need to get having that familiarity with these players for next season. When they're not on the field so much, we can have more confidence in them going forward. The whole, us making the Super Bowl with them, us making a deep playoff run with them, maybe that ain't even the whole case. Maybe that ain't even the story. That's not what we should be looking for. Look, man, this is very early in our life. Drew Brees retired after 15 years of being on this team. This is a whole different situation going on right now. Everything is different. So, we might need to be more familiar with the team we got, the ins and outs, the ugly, the good, bad, and the ugly of the team, more than we need to be concerned with the success moving forward from Drew Brees. We need to get this out of our system. And maybe that's what we're going through right now.
Hey, and to answer Brian's question, he said if Trevor Siemian got us to the Super Bowl somehow this year, and we win the Super Bowl, the next year Jameis, comes back, what do we do? Do we have a quarterback battle, sir? And I would say this. I would say, yes, you want a quarterback battle because you don't want to make Trevor Siemian look bad and stuff like that. But we know at the end of the day, Jameis Winston is a better quarterback all around. But if you look at it like this, though, Trevor Siemian even said it in the media when Jameis got hurt. We won this game for you, bro, and I'm going to hold it down until you get back, basically. He wants to hold it down. He knows he's not a starting quarterback. He's just here to be the man to hold it down. Because, like I said, if Trevor Siemian was in any other system right now, he wouldn't be the Trevor Siemian that's here. Because the system fits him. The system works good for him. He's got a good O-line. He's got good, should have good receivers, but they're not here right now. They hurt. So, there's certain stuff. Oh, he's got a good defense too. But like I said, some days they just don't show up when we really need them to at the end of the game. So that's what people's got to look at it as. Like, I would probably take Jameis over in a heartbeat, but it would be the same situation like Taysom. Taysom did good, went 4-1 last year or 3-1, whatever it was, and he had to have a battle against him, even though Jameis was, known to be the starter quarterback no matter what. And that's why I'd say that it would be the same thing with Trevor Siemian, even if he won a Super Bowl. Like, you can overthink it, but to be honest, if he won a Super Bowl for us and we bring Jameis Winston in, and we're going to want Jameis anyway because he's your real type of starter, I think some other team would try to offer Trevor Siemian a big contract saying, like, hey, you won a Super Bowl for them, you can play for me. That's how they would look at it. So we'll just have to probably let him walk. But I like the backups we have. Trevor Siemian's a third string. To be honest, he's proven himself to be a legit starter for our team. And some people are asking about quarterbacks next year, what we're going to do. And I'm like, I know we're having them rumors about Russell Wilson maybe coming here, Aaron Rodgers, this and that. Yeah. But, and Jameis Winston coming back. Yeah, Jameis Winston, I would love to have that brother back. But if Trevor Siemian keeps playing like he does right now and plays like this through the rest of the season, gets us into the playoffs, and wins us a game in the playoffs, and shows that he's not making mistakes, throwing interceptions, getting fumbles and all that, not taking too many sacks, and actually doing what he's doing right now, there's no other option to say, why don't you want to sign him back as maybe a starting quarterback? Because he did nothing wrong. He kept up with the city third, fourth string receivers he had and still did what he did. He looking like a Drew Brees out there. He's passing it to people that's a no-name, but still making games, crawling back into the games that you shouldn't be crawling back in when you're down 20. You're staying in the game against the number one AFC team that you shouldn't have. You came into the game mid-game after Jameis got hurt against the GOAT, Tom Brady, and their freaking number one defense and freaking torturized them and won the game for us. That shows you right there that he was prepared and ready to be, and it shows you that he used to be a starter. He can play it. Right. But he said he likes it better in this system. He likes Coach Sean Payton. That's why he kept coming back to be the third string. He didn't give a damn. He could have got second string job somewhere. He probably could have got a starting job somewhere, probably with the Jets again if he wanted to go back to the Jets or something. But he didn't have to. He likes it in the system because it's a winning culture, and any given Sunday something could happen, and you saw what happened. He got his opportunity to prove himself that he can be a starter, and it shows you how good he's really doing. That Sean Payton's not playing his favorite toy at quarterback right now, and Taysom Hill. That shows you how good he believes in Trevor Siemian right now.
Yeah.
When at first it was just basically a Taysom Hill versus Jameis, and Jameis won. Taysom went back to his role. Well, now Jameis is out. Why don't you bring Taysom back in, right? Well, why? Trevor Siemian is proving himself that he can play.
Right. And like I alluded to earlier this season, when Drew went down last year and Taysom was our starter, that was one of those things. I think we went 3-1. The offense was pretty successful, but what you seen was a dip in Alvin Kamara's numbers. You've seen a dip in other players' numbers, because the superstar and the most athletic person is taking the snaps, and it moved through him, So it changed the concept of what we was doing. I always thought that Trevor Siemian is here for that simple reason, because somebody goes down. Sean still wants a processing system quarterback to come in the game to let Taysom still have his H-back, his slot, his gimmick role, his sweet army knife role to come into effect and change the outcome of football games instead of him just being the one taking all of the snaps. I think that was the whole process of it from the first place. And I mean, I like Trevor. It doesn't matter if we winning or losing. I like Trevor. I don't think Trevor the reason we losing games.
Yep. And to be honest with you, Crusher and Jerry, I want your opinion on this because Mr. Mate Hill, thank you for commenting here, man, and watching the podcast. He said, Hoodie, all these guys or professional football player, the Saints have a good team. We have to clean up the mistakes. Yes, I totally agree with you. We're gonna clean up the mistakes. Trust me. But to be honest with you, Hill, you can hear me out on this, and you can agree or not agree with me, brother. But this is my opinion. They are third or fourth strings. They're not even supposed to be on the field making mistakes. But guess what? They're being thrown in there to be your starters. So guess what? They are going to make those mistakes. But once we do what you said right here, clean up the mistakes, we're going to start winning more football games. And also, next year, when you got your starters and they in the backup role, and if somebody gets hurt again, you can trust them to come on the field because they've been on the field before, and they shouldn't have to worry about making too many mistakes because they finally had their chance to start them and make those mistakes and get them out of them. They haven't been starters before. This is their first time actually being pushed to be a starter because of the cap space and the people being injured and stuff. So once we get all this starters and they finally get their rhythm into being a starter for the rest of the season, clean up all these mistakes, next year when somebody finally does get hurt, if somebody does get hurt next year, they can step up because we've seen it last year this year that they've proven us that they can make good plays, but they made mistakes. But I feel like by next year, they're going to have all this shit cleaned up and they'll be good. And we can trust them when they come out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion on that.
And I mean that's my opinion too. I do understand the fact that they are professionals and mistakes do need to be cleaned up because they can result in wins and losses with them in the game. But even for me personally, even before the game has begun, I've already tapered my expectations. Because I know this ain't the team. This ain't the New Orleans Saints football team we wanted to put on the field in the first place. So
it wasn't.
We just gotta go from there.
Yep.
And wait for better days, man. Like that boy Pac say, better days.
Yep. And that's why I tell people we don't want to start these people, but we have to because of injuries. But to start these people that are gonna make mistakes because they're young, they new to being a starter. Being on the field like this, and for them to make a few mistakes and clean it up in practice and stuff like that, and clean it up the rest of this year and try to clean this up and get better, that's just going to show you that, okay, we can win games, we can fight back with these people that are third strings, fourth strings, backups. If you can win games and crawl back into stuff with these people already making mistakes, shows you how good that they can be, and you can depend on them next year if something does happen. Like I said, if something does come to the worst next year, we know next year they will have more chemistry. They'll have more playing time on the field. They'll have more, not chemistry. It's more I don't know what to say. More momentum. Not momentum. I'm trying to think of this word in my mouth. Yeah, it's like stuck in my top of my tongue, but I can't think of it.
Continuity?
Maybe. More something on the field. You know what I'm saying? Because they playing so much on the field. If I can just
More
think of it,
confidence in each other?
more confident. If I meant to say, they're gonna have more confidence on the field, knowing what they can do. That's what I was trying to say. I just couldn't think of it. It was at the top of my tongue. I had so many different words in my head besides confident. But yes, with them doing all this, letting the mistakes go, and fighting back, crawling in these games, they're gonna know after watching films and studying with these coaches and stuff, and playing out through the year, being the starters.
Right.
They're gonna clean up a lot of this shit, and then next year, when an injury does happen, because NFL happens any given Sunday, anything can happen. Injuries will happen. We know we can trust these people because we're trying to trust them right now, and we over trusting people so bad, thinking that they're the starter and they're not starters. And we put in so much hope into them, and that's why I said, everybody lower your expectation, but also believe in us because we know we can.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, don't get too mad,
Yeah,
You
and
go.
one thing, one thing this channel will never be is a bash a player this, a bash a player that. We're gonna always look at if they had a good or a bad game, but we never bashing players over here, baby. We black and gold, bro. We not fanboys.
That's
and we
another
not gonna
word.
sit up here and you just try like to ignore the flaws and the bad shit they doing, but at the same time, we're not gonna sit up here and just bash players left and right for losses, bash players left and right for what they didn't and did not do, because at the end of the day, they are our Saints. We are Saints fans. We are here for them. We support them, and this is all about the brand. It's all about the brand, cuz we ain't bad talking nobody on our team. We ain't bad talking nobody that wear that black and gold every day. Because honestly, I seen way too much of that this year, and I vowed myself that I won't even do it. If I make a statement about Adam Troutman, I just made a mistake. I made a statement about Adam Troutman. This ain't let's keep talking about Adam Troutman. If I talk about Cesar Ruiz having a bad game, having a couple bad plays, then that's just what it is. It ain't let's continue talking about how sorry Cesar Ruiz is. If I talk about Marquez Callaway dropping catches or not being as good as I wanted him to be on my fantasy team, then that's just what it is. There's not no continuation of bashing players and bashing our New Orleans Saints, because that's not what we do here. That could be another podcast. But more importantly, we want to talk about what happened in the game, what can happen, moving forward from the game, and we want to recap the game. We want to recap, what happened, the news. We want to see, what could help us. We want to see what's been hurting us, what we can improve on, And if we call out somebody because they played bad. That deserves merit to do that. But we are not a bashing podcast.
No,
we're not a bashing podcast at all.
No, we are not. And Jerry's not asleep.
Nope, we're not.
Hey, but
Nope, I'm still here. I'm just listening.
hey, but to be honest with y'all, though, this is where we can kind of, where I'm gonna take over that what you just said, Cresser. This is where I can tell you, where I can take over. People are looking so far into the mistakes that we make,
right?
And they hold on to it like a grudge for some reason. Compared to us, we let it go, okay, and we believe in the next game. They holding on to that shit to where they see the ball being drawn to 82. They looking to wait to see if he's gonna drop it to where they can criticize him on that one play. But they're not gonna look at it and say, okay, look, he looked bad this game. But look at this past game. He didn't drop no passes at all. He went 5 for 6. The one target that he didn't get was overdrawn because him and the dude didn't have communication on that route. And he had that bad false start in the fourth quarter. But people are overlooking his game after that one flag. And I said, could they waiting for that to happen, for they can be the first one in the comments saying, oh, look, there goes Fisherman again. There's goes Troutman.
Right.
Why are y'all waiting to criticize a man? Why don't you support the goddamn man and say, look, hey, that was a bad play. That was, I wish he wouldn't have did that. But, hey, I need to look at it and be like, damn, this is his second year. He's being forced to be the starter here, and he will make a mistake. But I know next game, he's going to try to clean up the mistakes. But nobody looks at it like that. They just look at it as, let's
And
wait
we
for the
can
next
move
mistake.
forward.
Let's look and wait for the next mistake so I can criticize them again. I don't understand why they do that. Like the real Saints fans that really love this team and believes in everybody that's on the team because they believe in Sean Payton. Why he says, "I love my people, I love my team." Those are the people that are like us. Like, yeah, he had this bad thing, but we know he can keep moving on. We can do this. But the people who are kind of fake fans and just want to say and keep criticizing the dude, those are what you call a bandwagon type of person. Because once Trotman starts, getting the hang of it, being in the league for 3-4 years, and he starts getting his game on, y'all gonna be like, damn, he's our next George Kittle. But no, a few years ago,
Yeah.
about a year ago, you told me you needed to release his ass.
Yeah. And
So that's
Brian,
like,
and you guys on the panel need to understand something. These football players get paid too much money. They need to do their job better. That's why people get mad about this thing. They're getting paid all this money. True. Very true. Very, very, very true.
Hey, they are.
And if they when they do play bad, we will call them out on it. What I'm talking about is the continuation of talking shit about them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't do it. Y'all don't do that. See, like you, Chris, and Jerry. Jerry lets his frustration out and say, Trotman needs to go sometimes. But he don't really mean the shit because, like, the next game he's like, hey, Trotman did good. It ain't like people are getting so pissed off about it. Like, yeah, we be pissed off about it. Trotman needs to go. But the thing that pisses me off is that people in the comments and big, huge, thing, and other people's comments, like Mr. TJ Jones and stuff on the State of the Same podcast, they in there constantly saying the same shit. Oh, Sean Payton needs to be fired. Sean Payton needs to be fired. Trotman needs to be cut. He sucks. And they keep saying it every week. But they're not looking at the positive shit that's coming out. They only want to look at the negative, and it might be 1 negative to 10 positive, but you taking that 1 negative to criticize him for, and stop criticizing the man for that one thing when you can see some of the positive side and say, hey, man, that man caught 5 catches for it this week when normally like last week, he only had 1 catch.
And you have to realize that, I mean, the way these last 3 games have been, if we talk bad about a player, 9 times out of 10, the next game, they played phenomenal. They played well. And at that same game, another player had a bad game. And we like, damn, they played well, but this person, didn't play that well. They need to step up. Like, this is what's been happening with us. It's not about us just being on somebody's shit list. It's like every other week is presenting different problems and different players and, not playing as well as we think they should. And yes, they are professionals and they, need to be more mistake free and shit like that. And yeah, we're going to call them out and yeah, we're going to discuss it. But at the end of the day, we're not going to sit up here and have hate mail for them, bash them, inundate their inbox with hate mail and violent ass messages about killing them and doing this and that. And, I think that's just the worst fans of all. Like, that's toxicity to the max. Like, I much rather talk about the numbers. I much rather crunch the numbers, the stats, talk about what we could get better at, what we did get better at. What we seen some deficiencies and discrepancies at, how we can rectify that, how we move on, who we playing next week, what we did against them last time we played them. Is it a different team, new team? What's going on with them these days? What they third down conversion looking like? What they red zone defense looking like? That's what we're on. We ain't on some we're going to sit up here all year because guess what? Next year we're going to have a better team. Next year, we ain't going to have all this time talking about players. This shit only happening because we have players in the game that are backups that are not playing like we think they should be playing, and we're not winning. When we're winning and things are successful, we're not going to have all of this time to be talking about all this shit. I promise you. We're going to be talking about other things.
Hey, to be honest with
y'all,
I don't
want to talk about people. I don't want. I think. Eleanor Roosevelt got a great saying about how she said, simple mind. She said, average minds talk about events, simple minds talk about people, and outstanding minds talk about ideas. And we're at this point now to where all we can talk about are people because of the shit we seeing on the field. We one day we're gonna elevate our conversation, and it's not gonna be about people. It's gonna be about ideas. Who can make us better? How are we getting better? I think Brian was talking about, off season, what we doing on the channel in off season.
We're gonna be talking about
That's up to Hoodie.
we're gonna be on here talking about it. We're gonna be talking about football. We're gonna talk about this whole past season, what looked good, what looked bad, what can we do to get better, what we're gonna see, and we're gonna basically talk about what we can do in the draft, who we think we should pick up in the draft, stuff like that. But I really want to go back on the topic with Brian and Ms. Pammy saying it's true. They get paid money, big top of the money, to do their job. But guess what? But y'all not looking at it like this. They like Troutman and Deontay Harris and Callaway and Kevin White and Trevor Siemian. All these people that we criticize for making mistakes, and you say you want them to play up because of the money they getting paid. They're not getting paid starting money. They on rookie contracts. They on prove it type of contracts where they might be getting paid $500,000, $700,000 a year to be on the bench and to come in if we need them. They're not getting paid $50 million to go catch a football. They're getting paid $500,000 compared to being on a 5-year million contract because they're young. They're young players. They're not supposed to be on the field right now. That's why they come on the field and you make few good plays and be like, okay, we're gonna pay you maybe $2 million when your contract's up because you come in here and there doing good plays. But they playing as a starter right now. And these ain't people getting paid millions of dollars. Yeah, you can fuss at Lattimore because he's got the contract now and he's getting beat here and there. But you can't hit on somebody like Troutman and all them who are so young. And they're on a small contract.
No.
So and like I said, Brian, it's okay, man. Like I said, everybody's gonna be mad. Like, yeah, they should be playing up to their standard with the money wise. You know what I'm saying? They should, but they're not getting paid the money that we thinking they're getting paid. They rookies. They on a rookie contract getting paid the minimum.
Now when we talk about that, I'll share my personal opinion on that, which has only been, I guess, a 2 or 3 game span, is when we talking about big money players that are proven leaders in the locker room, proven starters on the football team that aren't playing well. I'm talking about the Marshawn Lattimores. The people that literally got the bag are starters, been in his offense, in his defense for a long time, and just don't produce on certain things. That's a different topic.
You want me to name one person? One person I would say that you can name right now at the top of my head that got the bag but ain't there? Andrews Pete. He's one of them. Got the bag as a left guard, and he's always hurt.
You mean Cottonelle Tissue?
Yes.
I think we moving on from Andrews Pete. I think we paying him too much, and for that simple fact, I think we're gonna let Teron Armstead test free agency.
That's what they are gonna do. That's what they said. They said they both likely gonna let him test it. Yeah, and people, trust me, there's gonna be teams like the Jets and them that will probably pay him high dollar that got the cap space because they need better left tackles and stuff. Right. And he might leave and go do that. But yes, we would love Armstead on the team, but if you watch the last few years, he's been injured a little bit, like Andrews Pete. That's why I told everybody, Andrews Pete keeps getting hurt every year, and we paid him 2 years ago for a big ass contract. Exactly. They need to take that contract away from his ass and release him this year. Let somebody else go sign him and let him be injury prone somewhere else because it ain't working right now.
Let me say this right here. There's an old saying my grandfather used to say: "He hell when you well, but he's sick all the time." He stay hurt all the time.
And that's it.
I mean, that's just a proven fact.
And the money that we're spending on Andrews Pete, we could be spending it somewhere else, trying to do other things with all the injuries he's had. They starting to accumulate, and it's gonna be a lot of O-line shifting this offseason.
Also look at it like this, y'all. Just hear me out and listen to this. We are spending so much money on stuff that we need, right? We need an offensive line, right? We need a healthy O-line to protect your quarterback because that's what we all complained about when we had Drew. We need protection for him. We got that now. What did Drew Brees never had for all these years? A defense. We're finally paying the defensive players, and now we don't have the money for our star receivers to have star receivers. Why? Because we paid the man the money, but he got hurt. So now we all pissed off because we don't have no receivers. But guess what? We paying the people we need to play our defense. We're paying the people to protect your quarterback. We just don't have that one receiver that we're paying because he's hurt with an ankle injury right now. So once he comes back next year, we won't be complaining about shit because we're gonna see our defense looking good like they've been doing. They're gonna make mistakes here and there. It's the NFL. People make mistakes, but you're finally getting your parts that you need. You finally got your defense that you need. A championship defense. You got your O-line that you need to protect your damn quarterback. You got your star running back that we just paid this year, Alvin Kamara. He's living up to his money like he's been doing. And now you're just missing that receiver, but he's hurt. So once he comes back and he's getting paid that money that he deserves, we'll be straight. We won't be complaining. We'll be on a winning streak. It's just with all the injuries right now, we're fussing about it, and we asking people to play up and play better when they actually are third string, getting paid a third string money and playing with rookie contracts because they're not supposed to be on the field being starters right now. But we're taking it so hard on them because we're so used to winning. Because we're a winning culture. And we know Sean Payton can win. And we know Sean Payton can win the game. So that's why I think that's why it makes us more frustrated. And maybe that's why some people really does get mad and say Sean Payton sucks when he's not really sucking. You just think he sucks because we lost the game, but look who he's playing with. Look who he's coaching. For us to even be that close in the game is incredible.
And to lose by 2 points. And to lose by these points that we losing by, that make you frustrated. Yeah, that make you mad. Yeah, you're a play away from, winning these football games. Hell, even before the Falcons game, we was a play away from beating the Giants. I honestly think the most thorough whipping we got this year and deserving loss is the Panthers, the way they played us and the way they got after Jameis. I think that's probably the only loss we deserve, honestly, that we got this year. The Giants game, we played bad. We hustled back, almost won that game. We had a meltdown in the fourth quarter. The Falcons game, was a play away. These types of games, it's not like we got crushed. Shit, the Titans game, back and forth. Overall, had a fumble coming out of the second half. Had some late touchdowns, didn't get the 2-point conversion. Heartbreaking stuff that's going on. This is not like we lost because we didn't play good and shit like that.
And let me say it like this too. If everybody in the NFL, every NFL team right now was in the same situation as the Saints at the beginning of the season, dealing with hurricanes, dealing with this, dealing with injuries, dealing with the COVID, dealing with all this shit, not having your starting quarterback because he got injured, not having your starting receiver because he's still injured, not having Alvin Kamara in the game now because of this, with the injury, not having most of your defensive players in some games because of the injuries, and not having your kicker. If people was dealing with this shit and we had just a regular season with all injuries, I bet you the Saints will go undefeated and go to the Super Bowl. Because our coach know how to use these players. Nobody else knows how to use their backups like we do. They don't. And we will be undefeated right now.
And one thing about Sean Payton and Jameis Winston, that's another thing I personally want to see finish. I want to see the conclusion of this finish, good or bad. People talked about Jameis Winston being under Sean Payton, that path, will he knock down the interceptions? Will he be a better decision maker? He was on that path with 13 touchdowns and 3 picks on the year. He was on the verge of being one of the most productive quarterbacks in the league as far as his quarterback rating. That story was coming true, so Jameis Winston in our system can be one hell of a quarterback, and we lost him, and he got hurt. So it is what it is, but it's almost one of them things to where it's like, personally, I don't care who's available. I want to see Jameis Winston come back on the Saints, play under Sean Payton, get his career together completely, because I think he's phenomenal. I really do think Jameis Winston is a phenomenal quarterback, and he got hurt and he's gone, but yeah.
And the reason why I said that we can be the only team to win with all these injuries, and the reason why I said that, and this is the one thing I wanted to tell everybody, nobody on the Bucks, nobody on like star teams would say this: oh shit, Tom Brady's out for the season with injury. We can still win. I believe in my coaching staff. They don't.
Right.
They believe in Tom Brady. They say we got Tom Brady. People say, oh, we got Patrick Mahomes. Oh, we got this person. But guess what? We might not have nobody, but we have Sean Payton helping us win these games still, helping us fight through these games. Now, while you don't have no Tom Brady, or you don't have Patrick Mahomes, or you don't have these star people like Derrick Henry and stuff, look how much worse their offense is now with no Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry made Tannehill look better. Derrick Henry made that offense look better, making that coaching staff look better. It don't matter if the coaches are on that team. The reason why we looking good is because our coaches, because it shows you that even when all these people hurt, all these starters, we ain't getting blown the hell out like people would.
Right.
We fighting in here, and we almost winning these games. And that
Right.
shows you how good of a coach the team is. And that's why I tell people, if everybody had this whole season, just your backup people, how much you want to bet the Saints will be the undefeated team, automatic pick to be the Super Bowl champs? Because then everybody would say, Sean Payton was the only coach that showed me they can win with a backup quarterback.
Right.
I mean,
And
that's
he-
my
and he-
opinion.
And even at that, for the last couple of seasons, we've had that experience. Number
Yep.
one, number two seed. Let's go get it. Super Bowl. Let's get the number one bye. Let's shit like that. But man, it didn't really pan out. It didn't really pan out for whatever reason. It didn't pan out. Having a great regular season didn't pan out for us to be Super Bowl champions. So let's just let that go and just try to get it together and just be a good competitive football team when the playoffs start and get in the dance and let's go with it. Let's go with it. And the
Yep.
NFC South is not lost. It is not lost at all. Yes, we 5-4 right now. We're half a game back. The Bucks got beat. We still right there. We could get a couple wins together, pull
Yep.
off a couple of these upsets. We right back in the race for everything we ever wanted with such a depleted team. So it's not about losing faith. It's not about giving up hope. We black and gold till we dead and cold. We're going to stay that way to the end of the season, to week 17, to the playoffs. It don't matter. It really does not matter. And that's what I love about. I really do feel like there's no other fan base like this in the NFL. I really don't. I honest to God don't.
No,
I really,
because
really, really don't. And I've
No,
seen a
'cause-
lot of toxicity from the Saints fan base that was reflective of, what I've seen on other organizations, bashing people and talking shit. And it's like, it's time to stop that, bro. For 15, 16 years, we wasn't doing all of that. We didn't have to do all that, man. We love each other, bro. We're going to support each other no matter what,
Yep.
and we're going to
Hey,
be okay. We're going to
hey,
be okay.
Preston. Hey, Crusher and Jerry, it's like this, and everybody in the chat. Do you remember being on Biz Q show, but not us being on his show, but watching his show, and he had that Washington football team guy named Louis T, or whatever his name was?
Louis T.
Yeah.
And it,
Look.
Right.
He's a perfect example. He's a hard, dying fan for the Washington football team,
Yep.
but you heard what he said out his mouth that day, right? When he said,
Right.
what you think about, because after we beat him, he said about next week playing a different team, he said, I don't even have hope against them because look at the team.
Right.
But you see what he said right there. But I bet you if he was a Saints fan, being a diehard Saints fan right now, he would say, I have hope because it's Sean Payton. But he don't believe in his coaching
Exactly.
staff. That's why he says, I don't have hope.
And to piggyback off of that, congratulations, Louis T, because y'all finally got y'all win over Tom Brady, bro. Congratulations. Shouts out to Louis T and the Washington football team fan base because y'all finally got y'all win. It ain't over for nobody. You
Nope.
know what I'm saying? It ain't over for nobody, bro. Let's just keep playing, bro. Let's just keep playing. And that's one thing I've experienced a lot of respectful fans in the league this year. I haven't really came across, and I don't look for it. I know it's out there, but I haven't seen the darker side of fanship or fandoms in different teams. Because I don't really go out there and look for it. But it's for the most part, it's been a very respective, a mutual respected type of relationship, and may the best man win, bro. And let's just
Yep.
keep playing, bro. You feel me? Like, look,
I feel you, bro.
let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you this to take it one step, an octave above that. The last 2 years of life being in this country, I think all I've ever seen was divisiveness. You this, you that, you vaccinated, you're not, you masked, you're not, you right wing, you left wing. It's like team this, team that. Football is not supposed to be a tool of divisiveness. And what we do, this sport and our fandom, is not supposed to be another tool of divisiveness. It's not supposed to be another instrument of dissension between us. Let's come together, bro. No matter what. If your opinion different from mine, your opinion different from mine. But it's time
Yep.
to come together. And sports are one of the ways that this country can heal, and we need to heal. We definitely need to heal. You know,
Hey,
win or
hey,
loss, it don't matter.
and just to be honest with you too, it's kind of like this. It's like we're gonna have our days that we pissed off and we mad and we aggravated because of stuff that they failed on and their mistakes. But I don't like bringing up stuff like this, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. It's basically kind of like this. Do you see us criticizing players for not doing this and doing that? But it's kind of like in real reality when somebody commits a crime, and he made a mistake that he shouldn't have because he just made a stupid bad decision to do that. You see the people in court, how some people are crying and heartbroken because that family member that was the victim to that died. But at the end of the day, sometimes when they go up to the court, they literally look at it and they say, look, I know what you did was wrong and you killed my kid. But at the end of the day, all I can do is pray and look up for you and pray that you don't make this mistake again and hope you have a better life. Instead of saying, I want to kill you, bitch ass, too, for doing that. We can do that all day and get pissed off and say, I want to kill you at first. But at the end of the day, don't look down on that person because they did make a bad mistake. They did that bad decision. But pray over them and say, yo, you killed this person, but I pray for you that you change in the future.
Right.
I hope you change and I hope you learn from your mistakes. Don't just criticize that person and down them and make them feel worse and make them want to do it more because they just feel like they don't need to be here. And that's why I tell people, don't down our players because they made a bad game or whatever. Don't criticize and sit on their head and say you're trash and make them not want to play football anymore. Give them motivation. Say, look, we know you made this mistake, my bro. That was horrible. That was a bad call. That was bad what you did. You couldn't catch this game. But work on that shit. Get better because we can believe in you, my bro. That's what I want to hear. Why are we hearing so much negativity when we should be showing the positivity? Because the Saints show you how positive this culture is. They show you how positive this team is and how positive our coaches are with our team. That's why I try to tell people, be positive and leave that negativity out. Let it all out in that one game when we lose. Let it all out and then let it go. Don't freaking keep saying the stupid negative shit that's going to, you keep bringing it on all through the week. It's so stupid. Why keep bringing it on all through the week and then let it go when it's time to play it? It's stupid. Right. Let it go and think of the positive and support your people. That's how I feel. But I don't know what y'all thoughts on that,
You said what all had to be said, Alan.
Gotcha. See, because you feel what I'm saying? Why, when they make a mistake, why criticize? When all we can do is try to support. Like I said, you see people committing murder, making stupid, dumb mistakes, doing shit like that. But the family still forgive that person and praise that they have a better life. And that they hope that they made up their mistakes and make up, when they come out. And instead of, wanting to beat the shit out of them. So that's what we need to do. We need to think of the let the bad go and pray and hope and support these people to be better. And that's all we can do for our players right now. All we can do is pray, support them, and hope that our players get better, clean up the mistakes, and move on. That's all we can do.
That's it.
And that's all we're going to do.
That's all we can do.
Yes, sir. So, any last words for y'all two? Anybody else want to join the podcast? I mean, we did move up to 17 people up in here. And then it went back down to about 11 or 12. Anybody else want to join in? I can put the link back in here one more time. If y'all want to come talk on here with the round table. Because the next round table we'll have will probably be like Wednesday or Thursday. Before we can find out, who's been on the practice field, who's not, and what's our thoughts going to be coming about the Eagles soon. That'll be like Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm going to put the link back in here again, like I said, for anybody that hasn't, that might have thoughts on this, on the last game, to let your final thoughts out on the Titans game and let your thoughts out about what you think we need to do, and like I said, don't be coming on here being all negative and shit, saying we need to cut this person and need to cut that, because yes, Mr. Jerry comes on here and says it, but he don't really mean it, because he knows he can believe in the people, and like I told everybody, for a tight end, it takes you 3 to 4 years to develop. That's what happened to George Kittle, so give this man some time, and he could probably turn into a George Kittle too. So anybody want to join on in, let us know, and I'll leave the platform right here for Mr. Crescent and Jerry to talk for a little bit, and if nobody else joins, we'll end the show in a few minutes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, y'all know how my phone does anyways. I'm about to have to sign on out of this thing. It's at like 5%, and I'm charging it in the car, so it ain't charging. But yeah. All we can do is just throw it away, bro. It was just another passage that we wrote this week 10. We wrote it. It was compelling. It was heartbreaking, but the best thing we could do is turn the page, and that's what we're gonna do. Looking forward to week 11. Got the Eagles coming in. Got to go to Philly. Always a tough team. Played us tough last year when we were supposed to beat them. Don't know the underdog. I don't know who's supposed to be under or over. I guess we'll get to that, Wednesday or Thursday during the week. But the Titans game happened. Good team. Almost won. Had a couple bad plays, couple bad penalties. And it didn't end in our favor. The ball did not, roll in our favor this time. But it's gonna be plenty of other times where it will. Congratulations to Tennessee. They played a good enough game to win. They put some pressure on Trevor, and we can't take away from that. We can't take away from them being one of the best teams in the AFC. But like I said, man, that was week 10, and now we begin again. Here we go, week 11, and start to move forward. And because I tell you one thing, the coaches right now are scouting Philadelphia right now to see what they can do to beat them and not worry about Tennessee. So as a fan base, we almost need to do that.
Yep, definitely. Just move on, like everybody says. Move on.
I already said it was on my mind from Sunday night, so I don't have to explain it again. It's already been said.
Yep.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna thank everybody that came on. So, Crusher, Mr. Jerry, Tyrese. Who else we had up in here? We had somebody else. I know T Dirty came on. We had somebody else in here, didn't we? We had like 4 or 5.
We had Dirty.
Yeah, T Dirty came on too, but then we had like 4 or 5 of us. No, it might have been. No, yeah, it was 5 of us, huh?
Yeah, it was Saints 01, but
yeah, Saints 01. Yeah, Saints 01 was on here, but he didn't get to say nothing, and I think he lost his connection. So thanks to everybody that was on here, and thanks everybody that was in the chat watching and stuff. We've been on here for about 2 hours, over 2 hours, exactly. And we were just talking about the Saints football, letting all our stars out, letting our stress out, and all that. And basically, that's about it. And like I said, Wednesday or Thursday, we're gonna have another round table. To have our thoughts on this upcoming game, to see what we need to do, what we think what's happening with the people at practices and stuff like that. See if we get Kamara back or not this week. And but that being said, y'all, if y'all don't know, y'all will know. There's no YouTube without your boy Hoodie Jube. And also, like I tell everybody, Trevor Siemian ain't the problem, so you know what you better do, right? You better acknowledge him. And there's no better way to end the show, y'all, with the sick intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready for an entertainment explosion. Get ready for an avalanche of awesomeness. Get ready to go live with your boy. Here he is, Hoodie Jube. And make sure you hit the subscribe button for your chance to win tickets to a live New Orleans Saints football game.